Because he said so.
You can go do it yourself.
It's the natural physics
Turn your
of
mic up,
water.
Raqia. You're very
to
low.
find
They're
the
over
measurable
talking you,
water.
Raqia, because your mic is low.
So we can't measure it, but you can.
No, you can measure it. It's easy.
Yeah, we
Just
have,
choose-
and it's
You just no, you have not. I guarantee you have not.
a bit of a guarantee that you can't back up.
Well, yeah, have you? Yeah, that's
Why
my
are you
fault.
making
Because-
guarantees for other
No,
people?
this is how I know you haven't. Because if you would have gone and measured water, you would have known that if you create a horizontal plane over it, it's horizontal underneath, which means it's not curving.
You haven't done that, have
Sure.
you?
Sure.
When did you do that? When did you
want the
create a
date?
horizontal plane over water? Tell us about how you did that.
You want the date? You've heard
No, I
about
want
it already.
I want a description of how you did it.
You take a tool that's made to create a horizontal, you create a benchmark over the water, and then you extend that benchmark and create a horizontal plane, 3 coplanar points, boom.
That described how.
Yeah, how did you actually do this in real life?
With the tools that are created to do so. I'm going to use one right now, actually.
What tool?
Hey, to be fair, Jim, I think he's incapable of answering the question.
I think so.
He doesn't seem to know what the question is.
So we're on to me now?
Or he does, and that's why he's deliberately avoiding the
Are you
We're
saying
not
a
on to you
horizontal
now.
plane
We
can't
were
be
already
created?
on to you.
Are you saying a horizontal plane can't be created with a horizontal plane creator?
I'm saying you haven't done it.
Oh,
Hang on, what the fuck is a
you're denying
horizontal
that?
plane creator? What
Yeah,
the
you
fuck
got
is that?
You notice I laughed, right? So, Jim, do you
Can-
think a
can
horizontal...
any of you
a
boys-
I was
horizontal
literally
plane can be
thinking that
created?
myself.
It's
Can any
irrelevant.
ball earther
Jim,
prove
in your
that water
infinite
does
knowledge
anything
about
besides
me and
be
how
flat?
to create a horizontal
It's irrelevant. I don't believe you've done it, and you're.
plane. I don't care what you believe.
Okay, so prove
Do
you've
you
done it.
think it's possible?
So prove you've done
Don't get
Can I
don't
do
get
it?
pulled into the straw man.
This guy's very
Because
rude,
it's-
Jim.
it. You say you
The
can. Have
natural
you done it?
physics,
He's calling me
The
a
natural-
liar, and I'm rude. I think that's funny.
the
Oh,
natural physics of water is to find
Show
it
us what
to
you did.
maintain that level.
Hang on, Solar. Show us what you did, Raqia.
No.
Interesting.
You
Well,
wouldn't trust
there
me
you go.
anyway.
There you
You've
go.
already called me a liar, so you wouldn't trust me anyway. You can go do it
Sure I would.
yourself. Yeah, you can
You
go do
call
it
a
yourself.
I
lot
don't
of
need to
people
trust
liars.
you. I don't need to trust you. I can trust your evidence, can't I? That you did this.
Okay, my evidence is that a horizontal plane can be created over any surface. Do you agree with that?
Show us the evidence first.
No, I didn't ask that. I
How
asked
long?
him.
That's irrelevant. We're
So why is
still on
that irrelevant? That's the
because
subject we're talking
because
about.
we still haven't
How is
answered
it
my
relevant?
question. We still haven't answered my question. I'm telling you how it's irrelevant because we haven't answered my question yet. That's why.
Oh, I did it the same
Yeah.
way you would do it.
So where's your evidence that you did it?
Raqia, don't
Why
get
are we
pulled
talking
in.
about me? Yeah, I don't care
Because
about
he
my
knows he
evidence
didn't
anymore.
do it, and he sat
Right.
there
He hasn't
hypocritically,
done it, Solar.
hypocritically demanding that
It's
other
called a
people do
bridge.
it.
No, it's
No, I'm
called a
not
bridge.
demanding you do it.
He-
I said that's the way you can prove
He's
it.
happy
I
to
didn't
make.
demand anything.
He's
You're
happy
lying
to
again,
make
Jim.
his. He's happy to make his
You're lying
conclusion.
again, Jim.
He's happy to make his conclusions from a guess, but other people have got to go and measure it.
No, that's not what I said. You're lying again. I
Okay,
said,
so
done
how
it.
have you made your
Listen up.
conclusion?
You're being rude. You're
So
being
how
rude.
have
I
you
said-
made your conclusion that it's level then?
Because I measured it.
I've
But you
done
have
it
no-
too, Raqia.
But there's
That's
no
how
evidence.
that's how you determine a
But-
shape. You see,
but there's
the
no
guy that
evidence.
earlier said that he did it. He was lying, not me.
But
You
there's
should
no
be-
evidence
You should be
that you've done
calling him out.
Yeah, right.
When
But
I
this-
called him out and said, "Have you done it?" and he went stone silent.
Why
He
does
has
he
done it.
not
He
stop
lied,
not
not me.
explaining it? He's constantly talking, but not explaining,
Because I'm
Jim.
being lied about.
Right.
I'm
He
being
is.
lied about. That's why.
Uh,
You asked the question, I
Unfortunately
answered.
for you, you have no way of demonstrating that it's a lie, do you? Because apparently you're
Oh, sure.
apparently
I
you're
do.
a flat earther who has measured the earth to be flat conclusively, but you didn't bother to record this in any way. Yeah. entirely convincing, Raqia, I must say. Or could this possibly
you're
be?
lying about me.
Right, can we just
again.
check at this stage
You're lying
that
about
this
me again.
that,
Yeah,
that
check
this
how many times you've lied about me.
can we just check at this stage that this lie that you're telling right now is actually a lie and isn't just you trolling? Quote. Just let us know if this is a troll at this stage. So we're not all fooled
Answer a
into
question
thinking
about
you're
me
actually
instead of
claiming this to be true when it's just a troll. Go ahead. Is
I'm
it a
not
troll
trolling.
or is this
No.
real?
I've only trolled you one time, and that was about the boat. I apologize about that. And yet, y'all sorry individuals bring it up every day. I
Yep.
did record it. I did measure it, and I know how to measure it.
Great. Where
tools
is your
are very
recording? of
Dave,
it?
Dave,
It's been
don't get
posted. Don't worry
sidetracked.
about it. I'm not
You
Come
gonna
on,
were
Solar.
proving-
How come you're
you
not
were
holding
proving
him to
what
your
you said.
standard?
Where is it posted?
Hold on,
Water
Why would I
Solar.
flat, so
post?
take it
Why
back
would
to
I post
water.
Solar, no
it?
doxing.
Y'all can
No
dox me
doxing,
again.
Solar.
You just said it's been posted. Don't worry
It
about
was,
it. Now you just
like
said.
3
Then
years
you
ago.
said, "Why would I post it?"
Yeah,
Doesn't seem to be a
don't
very
post it anymore.
consistent story here, Raqia.
I don't post it anymore, right? I changed my channel because people like you lied about me and doxed me, called my church and my business associates, right? Called my family members, attacked my family, talked about my daughter and how good she
They
looked.
weren't people like
And you
me.
want me, hey,
They weren't
you
people
want me
like
to
me.
post it again? Oh, yeah, because you're such an upstanding citizen.
Oh, I've never
You
done
lied
anything
about
like
me.
that. Never done anything
You
even
lied about
approaching
me.
that. Never ever done
You lied
anything
about me and my
remotely
character
close to
like
any
5
of
times
that.
this
So
morning.
they
Thanks for
clearly they're
lying
not
about me.
people like me.
Thanks
Crybaby.
for lying about
And
me
in
this
my
morning.
fucking 4 or 5 years of being in here, I've never heard him say anything like that. So shut the fuck up, idiot.
Well, then, what are
Hang
you talking
on.
about?
How do they know your church? Did you dox your own church?
No, we had T-shirts and hats on that showed our company names and stuff.
That's not the church.
What are you talking about? We have.
Well,
things
you said
that have our
someone
church.
called your
See-
church.
see,
How did they
we're
know what
proud.
church you go
So
to if you
why-
didn't dox the church?
Why are we talking about this now? You don't think we have shirts and stuff that have our church on it? Are
Yeah, but you
more
just said
brought it
you
up?
just you brought it up.
Because you had
Yes,
you
I
had the
know
what?
that of why.
Because
I
you had
wouldn't
the
post a
shirts on that
video
had your
ever
business
again.
on.
Why I wouldn't post a video for
And
you?
people don't usually wear
ever
T-shirts of their church, do they? That's not that common.
Yes, I do. Almost every day. I have a
What?
shirt right now with my company name on it.
However,
Hang on.
that's not your church name, is it?
Well, we have church shirts too, sir.
Right.
I know you don't know about church, right? Because you don't.
Hang
believe
on,
in
what
that either.
You
church
don't know
has,
what I
has-
know about churches.
what church
Now-
has
now
shirts
we're
for
on
their
about-
parishioners?
Now we're on about churches having T-shirts. Are you kidding me?
I didn't say that churches don't have.
Right, that other guy
T-shirts.
did.
Well,
Right,
I don't
right,
think
the other
they
guy.
do.
I do say that people walking around generally
Oh.
day to day in their church T-shirt is probably quite unusual.
So now y'all don't want to talk about how to make a horizontal plane, right?
No,
Or
we're
if it's
talking about-
possible at all.
We're talking about the lie that you've knitted
No,
for
we're
yourself
talking about
that,
how
that,
why I won't
that
post
gets
a video
worse
because
and worse with every
you
step.
And people like you, and this guy calling me a liar again would dox
So-
me again. Yeah,
so-
go ahead.
Well, Jim,
Okay,
you
I'm going
tried
ahead.
to talk. You tried to talk about it. He wanted to switch it up to all this other stuff, Jim.
No, I asked
Right.
him one question about it, and he said it didn't matter.
Sorry,
you
Jim.
trying to talk
I
about-
followed the conversation.
You started giving this list of all these things that have been done to you by people who are like me.
Because you asked me to post a video, and I said why I wouldn't. You want anything else you want to know? Or
So-
do you have a short memory?
It's hearsay, Jim.
Why can't he just simply describe the process?
Because you've heard the process like 10 times, Curve.
Because
You know what I'm saying, Jim? He can't describe it.
Right,
Right.
y'all are acting like you haven't heard it. So
Curved,
funny.
it's like that horrible cheesecake ice cream you had 2 weeks ago.
We've only heard part of it, and we haven't heard a very clear explanation of the details of what he says he did, Jim. I think he
No,
made
you
it
tell
up.
me I did it wrong, Curve.
Oh, I
Are you
think he
lying
made it
again?
up.
So, Curve, how in the hell did you tell me I did it wrong so many times?
Why
You
is he?
didn't hear
I'm
all
not
the specifics.
talking to him, Jim. Why is he addressing me?
Because you lied
'Cause
about me.
He loves
You
you,
lied about me,
Curved.
Curve. No, I don't.
He
love
loves
Curve.
you like a brethren because he wears
No,
church
I
shirts.
don't. No, I don't love what he says and does.
I'd love to
Sure.
know what church makes the parishioners wear a fucking shirt
They
with the
don't
name
make
on
us,
it.
you moron. They don't make us. Jesus, man.
I've
Y'all are
no doubt.
something.
I've no doubt there's plenty of churches in America flogging.
Yeah, it would be
people.
Jesus, man, who makes you wear a shirt.
Don't you
I
feel the
think-
love of God, Davros, you moron?
No.
I was just
Being a
thinking,
moron, yeah. What church makes their parishioners, whatever that is? I guess that's their
do you go to the
followers.
Church of Disrespect?
No, I go to the church of take out the blade and turn over tables when it's necessary. Yeah,
What
you're
sort of
laughing.
fucked up church is that?
No, it's
Hang
It's the church of the
hang
Bible.
on.
That's
I will
great for
defend
peace and
my
fucking
honor.
tranquility,
He
isn't
goes
it?
to church and doesn't know what a parishioner is. What the
I don't know a lot of things.
The Church of Blood and Tears.
I do know how to create a horizontal plane.
Hold on, give him credit. He just said the most correct thing he's ever said.
Yeah,
He
he's
doesn't
gonna
know
pick
a
on
lot
that
of
because
things.
Y'all are just,
You do
y'all-
realise-
Are y'all adults?
You do
You really
realise
chose that
they're
one
laughing
thing
at
I
you,
said,
right?
Kerr?
Huh?
Yeah,
He
I know
said
you're
it, not me.
You're getting a little worked up, Raqia. Calm down,
No,
mate.
I'm all good.
Yeah, I caught that
No,
one.
you're not. You're not.
No, I'm all good, bro.
Mate, you're
Believe
getting
me.
worked up, dude. Calm down. It's
Yeah,
fine.
You
We're just
hope I'm
fucking with
worked
you.
up.
We're just
Yeah, I
fucking
know.
with you. Yeah, you haven't done a level thing over water.
So is it possible to create a horizontal plane or not? That was the only question I asked, and it hasn't been
No,
answered.
it wasn't.
Yeah,
But
it
when
is.
you create horizontal planes, you find out that they're not horizontal with each other. Huh, go figure.
Horizontal planes aren't horizontal with each
Yeah,
other?
that's the
That doesn't
thing.
make any
That's
sense.
right. Yeah, they're not.
He created basically level segments that are not coplanar.
Right.
All right, y'all fight it out. I'm on my job.
Oh, he needs to
hang
go
on.
learn how to do his job
Well, I
better
think
if
you
he
guys
thinks he did what
are
he
not.
said he did.
You're not taking advantage of the betting system.
Although to be fair, he doesn't do his job over that
Raqia-
great a distance, so his handicaps
Raqia-
probably don't affect his real work.
Yeah, doing the horizontal for laying a slab
I
for a
think-
house. Yeah, that's cool. But if you're trying to measure the planet, that doesn't fucking work.
Raqia likes to bet. So you
Kimo,
guys should make
don't.
a bet. You should make a bet with Raqia that he cannot. Do
He's
the-
gone off to find his horizontal plane, mate.
Yeah, you should say, I bet that
Hold
you
on.
cannot.
Chemo, my bet is not that he cannot do it. What I'm thinking is that he does not know how to, and that what he did does not do what he thinks it did.
But I'm saying if we can
If
get
you
the
can
bet
follow
on,
that.
if you can bet that, then I'm sure, because Raqia loves
There's
good
nothing to bet on here, Chemo, because he doesn't
can't let it
understand,
go.
and he can't make a coherent bet on this.
Are you saying that he can't establish a
It's cruel to
Are you-
pick on retarded people that way.
Are you saying he cannot establish a horizontal plane of reference?
Chemo, have you
I
got
do
a horizontal
explicitly stated I am not saying that.
No, I'm asking.
I
what,
am saying that I don't think he did that, knows how to do that, because he won't explain what he did, and so that we can see if he made the error that at least that I'm thinking he did or not.
Well, I think the only
No,
way
you
to
weren't
get, to
asking.
get this
You
done
weren't just asking.
is to make a
He
bet.
did just parrot lines from Bev, didn't he? Basically, that was
Oh,
basically Bev's argument that he gave.
Oh, someone else did that earlier today. I went, "Is your name Bev?"
Yeah.
It's like
How
this
come you're not
sheep.
scrutinising him, Spurs?
Scrutinising what?
Well, he says he's done it. You'd be asking for a video and evidence by now if it was someone else.
Oh, we already know that we're on a horizontal.
You'd be
plane.
asking
All
for
we
a
have is
timestamp.
Yeah, we just got a bad story.
But we already know we're on a horizontal plane. You guys don't think
Yeah,
that.
An internally inconsistent story with very few details.
You don't think you think we're on a
So you just
curved
believe him, do you? You just believe him, right?
Well,
Is
no,
that what
we
you're
can,
doing here?
we can go out. We've got the Black Swan.
Have
Is
you got a
Raqia
horizontal
your religion?
Black Swan is our horizontal plane.
You've
for
been
10
indoctrinated
miles.
by Raqia, have you?
Do you have a
Yeah.
horizontal plane, mate?
Or did you indoctrinate him?
No, we have a horizontal plane from the 1 foot observer to the 10-mile, probably plus horizon. So,
Oh, but do you have a horizontal plane making tool, Chemo? That's what we.
well, that's what Raqia is going to do. That's what you want him to show that it is horizontal, because you don't think it is.
Actually, the thing I find interesting is Chemo hasn't been to Santa Barbara to test out the Black Swan observations for himself.
But I've been to St. B's, and we took.
No, don't move, boy.
I'm in the middle
You
of
have
saying
not been to
something there.
Santa Barbara to double check the Black Swan, have
Black
you?
Swan is not Santa Barbara. The Black Swan is the horizon is not physical.
Yeah,
But it's located in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, but the Black Swan
I know.
idea
I checked
is
it on Google.
yeah, but
There's
the
your Black Swan. Looks like it's sinking.
yeah, the idea is that horizon that you're showing is physical. There's a physical obstruction there. You think that's physical Earth? You think?
It's area specific, Chemo. You've got to go to Santa Barbara.
No, this can happen anywhere. Like I say, when we went
I'm
to St.
sorry,
B's
I'm going to
with,
get pathetic
Anthony,
on you now.
Nathan with the P1000s, the P9, all that kind of stuff, all that good
You
stuff.
weren't there. You didn't confirm that the
I
person
was
took
there.
the
That's
pictures.
true.
I was the one that found the lighthouse.
Sorry, I'm going Robotham on you here. You did not
Wait, the
check out the
lighthouse-
Black Swan location.
Hang on,
You
the
miss-
lighthouse
again,
that
you guys have a
Nathan
problem
Oakley
with,
told Riley to stop talking about there, Chemo? The one at the Isle of Man?
Hey,
with
you
a light
owe
on
me
the tip of
£2,000, you. You guys have a problem with
900.
understanding the arguments. The arguments. Now, Black Swan doesn't mean Santa Barbara or wherever you
3
say.
years on that bitch and they came up with nothing.
The Black Swan argument is now. This is anywhere, anywhere on
We're in a
Earth.
fucking undulating wave.
This is
You know,
anywhere.
wave comes up and goes down. That's it. That's all that is.
This is anywhere on Earth. That if the Earth is 3959, then the horizon should be no more than at the observer's height. Yeah, whatever that may be. That's anywhere,
And that's their
not
own,
just
and
here.
that's the globe's own science as well, isn't it?
Exactly.
Bitches looking after each
Like,
other.
don't be confused. The argument is just on
Well,
its
that's
own.
part of the globe's own science, isn't it? It's only part of it, though.
Well,
Yeah,
it's not-
but
it's not-
what
it's
he's
not-
saying
no,
is
well,
what
Mark,
he's saying
hold
is
on.
correct.
It's not.
What
it's
he's
not,
saying
it's-
is correct, though.
It's not
Well,
science.
no, it's a half truth.
It's not science.
It
It's just
isn't correct.
a measurement.
Well, let him finish.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not science though. It's just a measure. It's
Well,
part of their measurement.
You butted in with the claim that that's the globe.
Yeah, let him carry on. Stop this. Yeah.
So-
Stop, yeah. Let
so
him
I
carry on.
thought-
Let him carry on, big fella.
Like,
him
you
carry
let me carry on. So I thought.
Watch your heart, old man. Watch your heart, old man.
So I thought it was important that I pointed out that that was not the globe's own science. That was part of the globe's own science, and part of it had been deliberately omitted. Carry on, Chemo, please.
Yeah. So I mean, again, it's not specific to this one location. It's just the argument. Anywhere in the world, the Earth is what they say it is. The observer height is what you say it is, and the horizon should be where it should be. So that's just the measurement.
But then you'd have lots of examples of it, Chemo.
Oh, can we
But you
bring
only
Mark
have one.
back? Mark, this is the owner, by the way. You shouldn't be so rude to the owner.
I didn't mute him. I muted him.
I know. But let's bring him back. Probably didn't know. Some people don't know who Jem is. Just think, right.
I think he knew who I was. He was calling me old man.
Well,
It really doesn't matter. It's not
But he's
just
all
that
right.
it's Jeremy Serber. Mark is being a cunt.
Yeah, well, there is that.
What? I'm just saying. Let Chemo finish his point. What's wrong with that?
No, you're
Because you weren't
talking
letting
over
me
Jim
finish
the
my
way that
point.
you were.
But it's
Well,
okay.
And
But
with
it's
your
okay.
attitude and your fucking threats and your
My
perceived
threats. What threat did I?
superiority.
What threat did I? what
You're
did I
you're
say?
nothing. You're no.
I'm a no one. Okay. All right then.
Anyway, let's let Chemo carry on. Go ahead.
well,
Go ahead.
I'm just almost done. I mean, that's pretty much it. Is that it's just the argument is that we're looking at. It's not location specific. This happens everywhere, all over the world, and so I can go to St. B's, and the horizon should be in the same place. It's physical today, tomorrow, and every day. That's pretty much what it is.
But that's not right, is it, Chemo? You know that that's not what the globe science says.
It's not globe
What is it,
science.
Jem? Can you help us?
Go on, Mark.
I don't know what it is. Can they help us then?
Well, you're missing out refraction, aren't you? You're just
And what is
pretending that
refraction?
you're pretending that that's not there. Well, in the atmosphere, it usually means that the light is bending down towards us to some extent. Right? I'm sure you've.
So the light is bending down.
I'm sure you've heard of this concept before, right? This is not new to you, is it? Come on, be honest.
No, I'm just asking. What do you mean the light is bending down? What does that mean?
Dude, I'm not going to respond to a sea lining attempt. If you've been around this long enough to know who I am, you've been around this long enough to have heard about refraction before. So I'm not going to go into this thing where you pretend that you're 7 years old and this is the first time you've come across this concept.
No, I've just heard Nathan. I just heard Nathan Oakley batter you all the time. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, well, you haven't, because I've
I have.
been on.
I have heard.
Oh yeah, well, okay. Point.
Yeah, in the
point
early
me to a
days.
time-
In the early
point me
days.
to a time
in
when
the early
he
days,
battered me.
He battered you. Now you don't go and speak to him. Why is that?
Well, because he's a dishonest fuck who lies. He's just an actor who's making shit up. Why would I bother with him? He's irrelevant.
What does he lie about? The refraction. What does he lie about? What does he say it is?
Well, if
What's
you,
he lying about?
if you go to my channel, which is called Humans of Earth, you watch my video, which is called Children of the Flat Earth, a Prelude. If you watch that, then you'll see him telling his lies.
What is that again? Sorry, you're human. What human?
Humans of Earth.
Perfect. I'll look it up.
And the video is called Children of the Flat Earth, a Prelude. Have a look. See what your great man does. See how he battered me.
In a nutshell, what does he say?
Well, he says that the Earth is flat because I'm a child molester. That's what he says.
That's what he says.
Yep.
Said in a nutshell.
You did. Anyway, where were we? So, refraction. Why is it your tactic to pretend you've never heard of it before?
Who, me?
Yes.
I have heard it.
You have heard of it.
Yeah,
But
I just wanted you to explain it.
Why?
Because just to clarify your point.
But what? Why?
You can't just say refraction, though, can you? That's
So
not
let me get this straight. You've heard of refraction before, but you haven't heard of it in great enough detail, perhaps. So you wanted me to add to that detail.
No, just to explain what it means. You can't just say refraction. What does that mean?
Well,
refraction can mean many things.
But I think I can say it. I think that I can just say refraction. I think that you know what that means. I think that you know how it would, how at least we claim it affects the light in the Black Swan and similar images. So I think that that is sufficient for me to say that.
So when someone says Black Swan to you, what does that mean to you? Refraction.
And if you're saying that your knowledge of it isn't sufficient and you need me to flesh out that knowledge in some way, then you aren't in a position to challenge people on that, are you?
I'm not challenging you, I'm answering you. I'm not challenging you.
Right, well,
You're the teacher. I'm the student. I'm just answering questions.
Right, well, let's be clear about that.
You don't know it. It's fine.
I didn't say I didn't know it. I didn't say I didn't know it. We're establishing whether you know it or not.
Not in detail as you.
Right. So we've established now, as you've said, you're the student, I'm the teacher. So you aren't in a position to challenge anything I say, are you?
Well, I can't ask questions.
You can ask questions. But you can't,
Donate on mic, please.
You aren't in a position to be able to say that anything I tell you is incorrect, are you?
Yeah, but I can ask questions as the student, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, the light is bending down. Okay. Have you got any questions?
From where?
Have you got any questions about that?
So where's the light bending down from?
Whatever it is you're looking at.
So the light is bending down from wherever I'm standing.
No,
so that is what the curve of the earth.
No. from whatever it is you are looking at. You aren't paying attention, are you? You're not a very good student.
Sorry?
Maybe it's the teacher.
Maybe it is.
Bends down because the sun,
I'm following it
sun's
fine.
a lot bigger than the Earth, dude.
Maybe that's not what refraction is. What do you think about that?
Well, that's possible, Raqia, but unfortunately, this person isn't able to discuss that because his knowledge, by his own admission, isn't good enough to be able to
As the teacher, you shouldn't just spout off nonsense, right? Like you should really have knowledge about the subject you're trying to teach.
I haven't said anything nonsensical.
You said that refraction is light bending down. That's not what refraction is.
In this situation, it is, right?
What?
In
He's
this
just
situation, it is what is what
Exactly.
refraction.
You just get leading questions, and that's like, you know.
And I said usually, I think, or generally speaking, in the atmosphere, refraction is light bending down.
Go on, teacher.
Well, that's it. I'm waiting to see if he's got any questions on that.
Well, he hasn't finished his dinner yet, mate.
Where'd the beach chat box go?
There was no response from him. What happened?
He got muted by Captain Bullshit because he was eating.
Right, never gonna do that.
Oh, unmute him, see me, please.
Maybe the auditor of the class can explain what he thinks refraction is.
Well, we do actually have an inspector in from Ofsted today. That is Chemo. He's the Ofsted inspector. He's checking to see if my teaching quality is of the required standard. What do you reckon, Chemo? Have I made the outstanding grade?
I mean, the effort is, as always, fantastic. The delivery also was palatable, clear. But maybe, well, I think we could have a meeting on whether we could include experiments to go along with the explanation. But bar that, I think all we can do right now is just try to give the best answer. Relevant is correct, and that's all we can ask for.
I think
yeah.
Jem was exemplary.
Yeah, I wouldn't fault that.
We have this system where they check, schools and nurseries here. It's called Ofsted, and when you work in a school or a nursery, you're very, very frightened of your Ofsted inspection. It makes it's a big deal when you work in one of these places, and if you get a very good one, you get ranked, and the top rank is outstanding. And schools that are outstanding will advertise this. They'll have posters outside saying, "This school is outstanding." Anyway,
which is why
I feel my teaching
Jem,
maybe not outstanding.
I'm back from eating my lunch. Jem.
Good.
Just a refraction. Is it when light hits a reflection? Is that correct?
No.
So when the light hits a reflection of something, no?
No.
Okay, reflection occurs when the light bounces off a solid surface.
Imagine
changes
it like
direction as a result.
Imagine it like this: you're looking at something, and from that something are rays of light which make up that image in your eyes, right? Now, instead of being just straight rays directly from that object to your eyes, they bend slightly. This gives the impression to you that the object that you're looking at, because the light rays are bending down, it makes the object that you're looking at appear higher. Does that make sense?
And will that happen on a ball, for example, a sphere?
It happened, yes. It is a product, but it's a product of the sphere and of the atmospheric gradient, pressure and temperature gradient in the atmosphere.
But are you then?
Which in turn causes something called parallax.
What?
So that's called parallax. That's called parallax.
No, it's not. That's something completely different.
That's when an object is in front of an object that you're trying to get to, but it's not quite there.
So reflection is when a light bounces off an object. If the surface is smooth,
stop.
Okay.
Dude, you got to get reflection out of your mind.
It's not a reflection, no? Refraction is not reflection.
That's right.
Correct. That's why they're different words. Yes.
Refraction pushes the object away
through an atmosphere.
It's seen differently.
Light from a vacuum through an atmosphere is what refraction.
Okay, Eagle, back to sleep.
I'm not up to date in the chat. Has anyone?
So look, one way to understand.
Somebody did post an image. Thank you,
Mark. Is when something is obstructed. You know when they say we have a mountain behind horizon, yeah, half of it, and then sometimes we'll say, well, we see more of the mountain. So they'll say the only reason we're seeing that was the light bending around the curve, and we're seeing not the true image, but just a refracted. The light is just bending. You understand? So it's like having a hill or an obstruction, and you can see something because the light is now bending around.
Yeah, it's called a chromatic aberration.
Do you understand, Mark, what they mean?
No, not really. I don't think so.
But if we see, I'm just saying to Mark about how the arguments that we use is we see too much of a building or a mountain, something. You shouldn't see that on a ball, is what. I don't know if you've heard that.
You're not focusing on the magnitude of the sun or the light source.
Mark, have you ever heard something like that?
You don't need to.
Yeah, you do.
Mark,
no, you really don't.
Why is Eagle doing that? I'm asking Mark a question. I'm asking if he's heard of those situations where we...
Eagle's not very bright, Chemo. You know this.
That's why I'm asking. Why are you interrupting?
That's a good joke. Thank you.
All right, look, and to answer one question that he brought up earlier, on a completely flat Earth with completely flat planar stratified atmospheric gradient, you're still going to have refraction at things that you're looking at that are not in the same plane of gradient that your eye level is in. If you're looking up through the gradient, you'd still have refraction. There is a bit of a difference, and we see more refraction on on the globe in situations where we wouldn't see it if the Earth were flat, like when you're looking truly horizontally out into the distance. On a flat Earth, there wouldn't be any thing that amounted to any significant refraction when you're looking horizontally.
That's
in
why
the same, pressure region and density and all that.
That's what I had in mind when I said that.
That's nonsense. That is.
Yeah, that's what.
That is not
to
nonsense.
take a quote from my cousin Vinny, everything that guy just said is bullcrap.
Yeah.
Okay, now back that up.
Because it's the medium.
If you look at what causes refraction in the first place,
yeah, it's the medium.
You'll understand what I'm saying.
Deflection of light going
if you
through
don't
different
understand what I'm saying, it's because you don't understand refraction.
You're not letting us respond curved.
The deflection of light or radio waves or anything like that through different
How much talking over did he just do?
You just made your point. We said this is nonsense. We're about to respond why it's nonsense. Then you just said no.
Did I make my point unencumbered? Did I make my point without some Cajun idiot raging all over me?
Yes, you did, and then I called it bullcrap, and I went to tell why, and then you kept raging on like an idiot.
Well, why is it when I release my push to talk, I hear you in the middle of a statement?
Because you keep pressing it and then releasing it and pressing it.
So you weren't talking over me. You just lied. You lied. I'm calling you church.
I started talking, and then you started talking over me, and then blamed me for talking over you as I was fixing to tell you what refraction is.
I'm calling your church, sir. It's
Go
over.
ahead. Go ahead. They've been called before. It's all right. They laughed at them.
But
You
Raqia,
mean
what did
Dave
they say?
is teaching? They asked. They called the associate pastor is the one who approached me. That someone had called the church about me and was talking about flat Earth. And they're not flat earthers, but they said Dave is trying to teach somebody about the Bible. Okay, good.
But did you find God at the bottom of the bottle?
The funny part about the three
quit doxing yourself. I'm going to mute you if you dox yourself again.
The funny part about the three contractors they tried to contact is two of them are flat earthers. Now that is hilarious.
It really, I don't know whether it is hilarious.
Yeah, that's a good one.
A worrying statement about the American
Yeah,
education
it's sad.
system.
Very sad. Very sad. It is Louisiana, though. It's to be expected.
Yeah, I do like the phrase Cajun idiot.
That was great.
You like when one of your mods demeans somebody? You would, Jim.
But I like it when they do it creatively.
And to people that deserve demeaning, people who've earned it.
Yeah, you have earned it.
So anyway, you accused me of being wrong with my explanation or my statement about refraction on flat Earth versus globe. You've yet to substantiate any of your accusation against me.
Yeah, I did. You just didn't hear it. My guys are here now. Who are all?
Oh, you know why? Maybe it's because my push to talk was on and I was talking and I didn't hear you explaining over me. Would you care to go ahead and clearly explain it? Why is he still mumbling over me?
Wasn't me.
You see, Chemo, there's a reason these dickheads get muted sometimes. And you don't need to get all butthurt about it when they need to be taught a lesson.
You just blame me
He's
for
still
mumbling
doing
all
it.
over you again, and that wasn't me, sir.
He's
I was
still
on mute.
doing it.
I was on mute.
Every time I take my finger off the button, you're in mid-sentence. Except that time.
Well, then there must be a delay.
The
Anyway, where
delay
were
is in
we?
your learning. Raqia was going to explain what I was wrong about. He called me wrong. You want to explain why? Okay, so for anybody who heard Raqia's explanation and want to back him up on it, tell me what he said. So nobody knows. Nobody can back up Raqia. Shocker.
Raqia can back up Raqia. Maybe if he recorded himself and played himself back.
Yes, and
into what
this
he
is
said,
why
it
the
sounded
Black Swan is one of the most powerful globe.
You always talk over people when they're having a conversation, or do you just do that out of like ignorance?
Let me
Keep
bring it
doing
back to where we was, Tao. Just bringing it back because obviously when things get a little bit hairy.
Tao, come on, you've rambled on enough. Can we get on with it, please?
Yeah, I'm just saying that obviously.
Yeah, Chemo's got to
trying to
bring
lose
it back
sight.
because he doesn't like where it is right now, where Raqia is stuck.
Double down on my bollocks. You double down on your own.
Yeah, we seem to lose sight, and all we're trying to explain to you guys is the Black Swan.
Yeah, I've finished now.
What are you going to explain about Black Swan, Chemo?
Sorry?
What are you going to explain about Black Swan?
Well, that it's not just location. It's everywhere and anywhere. And because the horizon is not in a physical geometrical location, it means that you don't have any geometry. Now that's a huge problem, because if you don't know the size of the Earth, it means you don't know the distance to the moon, the stars, the sun. All this planetary stuff just goes out the
You
window.
don't need to know those distances.
You have no measurements.
Chemo, what's the necessary antecedent for an apparent horizon?
For the apparent horizon, you need the sky and the ground.
You need a geometric horizon for that, don't you?
Not necessarily, because on a flat Earth you got what appears to be a horizon.
Yeah, you do. You can't have an apparent horizon without a geometric horizon.
On a flat Earth, it looks like there's a horizon, yeah?
No.
What do you mean no? We're on a flat plane. No,
No, we're not. We're not.
When you're
It's
looking at the
assuming.
horizon,
You're making
Chemo,
a
you're looking
presupposition.
down, dude. Yo, when you're looking at the horizon, Chemo, you're looking down, dude.
Well, I mean, that's what you tell us. But what we can do to test that is,
Look in which direction the sun rises. That's all you have to do.
no, you just have to look straight ahead. Okay?
Yeah, that's what I mean, in a specific direction, and then take notes from there.
Yeah, and you never have to look down to see more land.
But no, when you're looking out towards the horizon, you're looking down towards the surface of the Earth that you're standing on. The reason why you can't see more is because of the height that you stand. You can't see beyond the horizon because your height off the ground.
No, I mean, like I said, on a globe, it's very, very simple. The horizon, the physical horizon, would you would start to see the Earth fall away, and that doesn't happen. What we actually see is more land, which would work on a flat Earth, but not on a globe. You can't have it both ways. You can't have ships going over the horizon. So that's where the horizon like the curvature begins for us visually. I know you say
Right,
everywhere.
that's why ships and the sun go dip below the horizon.
I know you say the curvature's everywhere, but visually we get to see it if the ship's really going down the curvature over the horizon. So that means that has a meaning, that has implications to it. That means if we get in a hot air balloon at that very point where X marks the spot and we go up just over the X,
Then you shouldn't see it disappear, right?
I know you'll say there's wind, but let's say we could fashion a way where we mark the spot at the beach in a balloon and we just go straight up, looking straight forward. As the ship goes over, we would have to start looking down at that ship as it goes over the curve. And
Gee, what a surprise. That's what actually happens.
No, that never happens in reality.
When you're going up in the balloon and it's going down, you're basically getting distance over it, dude.
All right, so right now, is it on chemo to show that this never happens?
Of course, that's a positive claim he made.
Yeah, you can see in, what's his face? Mr. Sensible's balloon, you see more land.
Hold on, where is horizontal?
The horizontal is everywhere. No curvature anywhere.
What? Oh, no, you're not listening. You're not paying attention. I don't think you're being devious. I think you truly don't understand.
Okay. Carry on.
Whereas horizontal, how are you comparing horizontal to the land below?
We're not doing that. What we're doing is we're checking out.
Oh, yes, you are. You're saying that you don't have to look.
That's why there's confusion, because we're not doing that experiment, or not an
You
experiment.
can't know if you're looking down or not if you can't define down or, what's horizontal.
No, because I know you mean down is towards the center of the Earth, but we're just saying looking straight forward.
No, not in this situation.
Exactly, that's my point. So when we go up in this situation...
No.
Yes,
okay,
if you
you're
look
wasting
at the horizon,
time.
If you look at the horizon and the ship goes over that horizon, that means that's the curvature. Visually, that's what you can see visually, as in curvature.
No, wait. Chemo, look, this shouldn't have to be said again for the 10,000th time. But when you're talking about a ship going down over the horizon, that's relative to your line of sight down. It's not getting any closer to the center of the earth.
I don't mean that.
You
See,
know
I'm not
this.
talking about that. When I just say down, I just mean like going down the stairs.
Now he's bringing up the stairs.
That's the down I
is
mean. Just like going
pointless.
down the stairs, the ship is going down and away from you.
Well,
So
totally
as you
similar
raise,
to going
Going down the stairs.
Yeah,
These are the words of a man who knows he's lying and playing a game.
lying about what? Like I said, if the ship goes over the curvature, then what should follow is if you raise an elevation, you should be breaking your neck, looking down, trying to see that boat as it goes over on the vertical.
That's exactly what does happen. Yeah.
No, you don't have to look. You don't see the boat going on the vertical and you having to strain, having to look to see that boat. That never happens in reality. And that's what would happen on a ball. I'm sorry, guys. This is something that we have to get used to.
No, you're looking towards the sun, and that is your horizontal, and your parallels are north and south.
You're just
What
basically
the
lying
fuck,
now.
Eagle?
Yeah, that was as dumb as anything flat earthers said.
While he's on your side, I mean, worse, it sounds all the same. It's no different. But the point is, seriously, with the horizon on a ball, we know how balls work, and you're trying to. Well, that's kind of. Well, just we know how spherical objects should work and operate, and obviously, if something's going over it and raising elevation, there has to be a drop. Can't get away from it. And because there was no drop, people are happy with that the Earth is flat. Like, not flat as in like a mirror, but flat like horizontal.
That's false. And you know that at like typical airplane cruising altitudes, that horizon is down 3-4 degrees.
Check it out. If you're saying that I have to look down to see the horizon, so would the airplane have to look down. It never ever looks down to go to the horizon.
That's not true.
Same thing.
You've seen the heads-up displays showing you to be false.
But listen, if the pilot, me, looking at the
Why
horizon...
should I listen to more lies, Chemo?
If I have to look down at the horizon, as a pilot, I have to head towards down.
No.
Yes.
No, you head towards your artificial horizon. That's what it's there for.
Yeah, me
to
looking
keep
down
you
at the
from
horizon, the plane
crashing.
will go...
What? You're a suicidal maniac. It's no wonder you can't be a pilot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're saying I have to look down, then the plane would have to also go down and head towards down.
No.
What?
That's
the
a
plane flies
non-sequitur.
level. You look level, straight ahead. And when that
Make
plane
no sense at all.
What you're saying is, Chemo, that in this situation, that this plane could fly higher without increasing the thrust of its engines, and we just know that that's not true.
No.
You can't go higher without more thrust.
No, check it out. What I'm saying is that when they tell us we look at the horizon, they say we're looking down. We always look down. So the higher you go...
You're saying you can get a plane in the air, keep the thrust at a given level, and the plane will just go higher.
No, I'm saying you have to tilt
That's not
it.
true. How are you going to get an object, a heavy object, to go higher without adding any energy to it?
That's not what I'm saying.
That is what you're saying, though, isn't it? That would be a consequence of what you're saying. The plane. If you're saying, the plane. Hang on. I'm still talking. You're saying.
You strawman in the fuck out of it.
It's all right, Elijah, let him do it because...
You're saying that a plane has to dip its nose in order to not fly off into space. So if it didn't dip its nose, that's all you're saying. It just doesn't. It just stops dipping its nose. Now it's going to get higher and higher without there being any more thrust. How is that possible?
I'm only going by and
Okay, hold on, Chemo. He detailed what he thinks you meant. Now, what I think you meant is, okay, if the horizon caused by the floor is down to some degree, and you have to angle the plane up for thrust to some degree, then it would stand to reason that the horizon would be off by a few degrees.
Exactly.
What does that mean?
What?
That's the point. If we're looking
the
down,
horizon would be off what by a few degrees? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
You said the horizon would be off by a few degrees. Off from what? With respect to what?
I'm talking about what Curve just said, right? Curve just said when you go up in an airplane, the horizon is lower a few degrees. Well, the plane is angled up a few degrees for thrust. I mean,
the artificial horizon has nothing to do with the attitude of the plane.
Plane's
So you're talking about the artificial
Get the basics
horizon,
down first before you try to come at me like that.
the artificial horizon or the real horizon? Which one? Which one are you talking about?
You're an idiot.
We're moving on,
you're
are
an
we?
idiot.
well, we've kind of got you guys because again, which horizon are you talking about? This is the very point. If you're saying
no, the very point is, how does a plane get to go higher and higher without you adding any energy into that system anymore? In this case, any more thrust? You're saying that is what would happen. That all the pilot has to do is stop dipping his nose and he will get higher. Well, we know that you must realize that cannot possibly be the case.
Why? Well, that's what would happen on the board.
Because you're saying that things will get higher without you adding energy to them to make them go higher.
If he doesn't dip the nose on the ball, what he will fly into space, won't he?
According to you, not
I'm
according
asking
to
you,
us.
I'm saying to you, if he doesn't,
because I say, in order for him to go higher, he has to add thrust.
Do airplanes fly in the direction that their nose is pointing, Chemo?
Right.
No, but they use that level, so they stay level, and if the horizon is lower...
It was a simple question. Do aeroplanes fly in the direction that their nose is pointing?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying they fly level. They've got that little
So you're
gauge
not going
thing.
to answer my question.
They hold an altitude, you goose.
Point is, if the horizon is lower, and you're saying we have to look down at the horizon, then the plane would also have to go down. Can't get out of that.
You can't understand it.
Which is why aeroplanes don't point at the horizon. They point above the horizon to stay level.
No, but they're not above. They're level with the ground. They're not angled up higher, are they? Or angled down. They are parallel with the ground.
You guys need to get this idea that the nose of the plane determines the location of the artificial horizon, and they're independent of each other.
Well, if you had a physical,
But you
if you had a
platties
geometric
can't get
horizon,
that.
you wouldn't be in this problem. And that's why the plane doesn't need to
This
nose
isn't
down.
about that.
Doesn't need
This
to
is
nose
not
down
about
because that horizon moves with the plane.
This is simply about level where you are being extended out forward in the horizontal, and the divergence between that horizontal and the level of the surface below you.
I'll have it both ways. If
What
we
Dave
look down, the
claims he
plane must look
measured
down.
and couldn't find.
I'll have it both ways. If we look down at the horizon, the plane must also look down towards the horizon.
I think Chemo's trying to get it both ways here, guys.
What?
Watch
So
out.
planes have to fly in the direction that you look now?
If it's flying towards the horizon and around it, of course.
What? So just because we look down towards the horizon, does that mean that the plane has to be going that direction as well?
I said if we are looking at the horizon down, the plane would
Well,
also
that's
be
what you
looking
imply.
down.
That's what you
Why?
imply. That the plane has to go the same direction that we're looking. That's bloody ridiculous.
Why do we have to look down to see the horizon?
I don't agree, Kivo. Like, nah.
Because you're at elevation.
I thought the horizon always rises to eye level.
That's if it was physical.
What?
So the horizon
Hey?
doesn't always rise to eye level. This is news.
The horizon's
to
not
flat
physical,
Earth.
is it?
Hang on, this is a change to the original rhetoric, though, isn't it, Jem?
Jim, you know that's not what we say. We say it rises towards the eye level. Get your story straight.
No,
No.
you don't.
No, you don't. You say the horizon rises to eye level.
I just did. Towards
Endlessly
eye
and
level.
endlessly repeated. I've heard that.
Yeah, that's
I've
what.
probably,
Yeah,
I've
don't
probably
lump
heard
us
that
in.
said. I probably
Yeah,
heard that
don't lump
10,000
everyone
times.
into there.
Hold on,
Jim.
hold on.
I've probably heard that 10,000 times, and I've never once heard anyone say the horizon rises toward eye level.
Can I just clear this up with Elijah? So, Elijah,
I just said it, you liar.
Elijah, you're saying that
Until
if I'm in an aeroplane,
You're the only one, Raqia.
if I'm in an aeroplane and they're saying that I have to look down towards the horizon, so how can the plane fly straight if I'm looking down? We have two lines of sight, one looking straight, one looking down. Why doesn't the plane adjust?
is not controlled by the direction of your eyes.
So if you're just flying one of them old aeroplanes, then what? The horizon's lower than you, but you have to point the plane down. Where your head is sticking out of the aeroplane with those goggles. Elijah, can you explain?
And you're trying to catch a pigeon.
No one has to point a plane down. It's an airplane flying over. It's flying horizontally once you set the trim over a horizontal plane. The artificial horizon. The artificial horizon is showing your horizontal above the horizontal plane. So if you're at 20,000 feet and your horizontal artificial horizon is pointing out into the distance 200 miles, once you get to that 200 miles, if you keep it horizontal, flying over the horizontal plane in an airplane, you're still going to be 20,000 feet above the horizontal plane when you get to that 200 miles.
No, this is not true. I've done the math on this and gone over it with everybody before multiple times. They're bored with it by now. But what you just said is not true in our experience.
You're taking a percentage of drop, which is horizon drop. Now curved.
No. You don't get to say what I'm doing. You don't even know what I did. And you're too stupid to understand it, so I won't explain it to you.
I heard you say it. You said that the artificial horizon is above the horizon in the distance. You're talking about horizon drop, aren't you? Aren't you?
Yes.
I'm trying to clarify. Okay, so yes, you are. So I was
you're
right.
trying to clarify your own misunderstanding.
Okay, one simple question, Curve. Is horizon drop Earth curve? No, it's not.
Horizon drop Earth curve. Barring, atmospheric problems, yeah.
You say horizon drop is Earth curve?
Yes.
Now that's funny.
That's why it drops that's why it drops the amount that we see it drop.
So as you go up on a horizontal plane, you wouldn't expect to have to look down at an angle to see the horizon in the distance?
Wouldn't expect to see a horizon in the first place.
Wouldn't expect to see a horizon.
No.
You think light travels forever?
Why would you see a horizon on a flat plane?
So you think you can see forever through the atmosphere? So that's moronic too, right?
I don't think the atmosphere makes a horizon.
Why wouldn't
you don't think the atmosphere affects what we're seeing in the distance and how we're seeing it?
Yes, but it
changing the argument,
a
Raqia.
horizon.
No, I'm not. I'm saying you can't measure to the distant horizon because it's always changing. It might be constant. Like once you get up to a certain altitude, that angle might be pretty constant, but it's not where the true horizon is. It's just where the apparent horizon is, where you can see over that distance through that medium. Wow, why can't y'all grasp this?
I'm going to give you a chance. From 33,680 feet, 6 miles altitude, with a 3-degree drop to the horizon that we would see at that altitude. The distance to the horizon on the globe is about 218 miles. Now, if the Earth were flat, a plane below the airplane, then that 3-degree drop would maximize your distance to the horizon at 114 miles. And that is not what we see.
That 3-degree drop is just where you can see too, where your horizon
I told you
is.
you
The
weren't going to get it.
extends into the distance.
That 3-degree drop has implications.
You can't get,
All you
he's
see is
never going to
balls.
get it. If the
A
Earth
heads-up
were
display
flat
creates
and
a
you're
horizontal.
looking at a point that's 3 degrees down, the maximum distance to that point is 114 miles. Do you not?
I get what you're trying to say, but you're measuring
you don't get it. You don't
Yeah.
get it.
How do I not? I was fixing to. Never mind. I mean, I was fixing to start answering. You keep saying I don't get it. You're trying to take that degree to an apparent position. You don't get it. You can't measure to those things.
Look, if your
yeah,
maximum
look,
distance of view there is 114 miles, you wouldn't be seeing an object on the ground or part of the ground that's 218 miles away. Do you not
don't
get
see
that?
it. You don't see it either way. It's just a blur. It's just an apparent position we call the horizon where the sky appears to meet the ground. It doesn't. It's just an optical illusion, if you will.
No, you're
it is.
a practical idiot. That's all that can be said at this point.
Well, I don't know who says a heads-up display isn't just a horizontal plane created by those crosshairs. It's shooting out into the distance. And once you get to that point, 20 miles away or 200 miles away, you're still at the same altitude, unless you deviated from horizontal and you're flying over a horizontal plane.
Does anybody know how to help this guy?
If you're flying over water, it wouldn't change 1 inch.
I think it was made illegal in the 1950s curved, if you want that kind of help for him.
There is no drop from horizontal curve. That's the point. If there was a drop,
I mean, anyone who claims that you can't see forever, and like you're standing on the ground and you can see a distance of about 3 or 4 miles to the horizon, and yet you can still see the moon on the same level, which is way further away. That has to be a question that you have to ask yourself. Why can I see the moon, which is much further away, through the same layer of air that I can see the horizon?
It's not the same layer of air. You're lying to people.
It is. It
Plus,
is.
you
when
don't
the moon,
know the distance to the moon.
I was answering you. It is the same layer of air when the moon's setting.
Yeah, and it gets affected by the horizon. So does the sun. Yeah. Thanks for making my point. Thanks for making my point.
You're making your point.
It's all refracted and back.
Your point sounds ridiculously stupid.
Half the sun is missing, and then the other half, the top half, is actually below the horizon, but it's being refracted up in your model.
You're saying that the bottom half is so far away that you can't see it, but the top half is close enough that you can see it? Now that sounds even stupid.
No, I'm saying the bottom half, when it's in the thicker density layer of the atmosphere, at the angle that you're looking, which depends on the viewer height, then that portion is being hidden by atmosphere. Yeah. Welcome to flat Earth. And
welcome to flat Earth. So if that was the case, then wouldn't the sun be a gradient rather than a sharp cutoff?
It is sometimes. Sometimes it is a gradient. Sometimes it just phases out. Yeah. No, that's not a lie. There's video
It is a lie.
That's basically a lie.
After what you just said, you just lied.
No, I didn't. Sometimes the sun does just fade out, depending on the atmospheric conditions, how dry and.
Okay, so we'll call it a flip-flop then.
No, I didn't flip-flop at all.
You said one thing and then changed your story.
Let me make myself clear. It depends on the atmospheric conditions, the viewer height, and some other factors, but mostly that.
You can't bullshit a bullshitter, mate, so fuck off.
You can't outwit a witter, so you screw off.
But you had £2,000 here, so you can't be getting all excited. I thought you'd like that one.
I've been saying that all my life.
Yeah, fuckwit.
I just joined in on that. What the hell?
You're not witty, Raqia. You're just not witty.
You're in mind, but not in body.
Can't outwit a witter? What the fuck did that mean?
Yeah, you like
Flat
that
Earth Solar, are you still here with us? I mean, what's your view on the plane having to dip? What do you think of all of this?
Can't get better.
Hold on, let's hear from Solar.
Hey, how's it? No, it is such a... It's one of the most fundamental and most basic principles is that the wing needs a slightly upward tilt for it to remain aloft. If you don't have that aircraft flying slightly nose up into the wind, it's not going to remain at the same altitude that you intend it to be. When you see a jet aircraft skim over water for mile after mile after mile, when they do those training exercises where they're flying maybe 5 meters to 10 meters above the surface of the water, and they going at crazy speeds, they never lose or gain altitude while flying perfectly flat over water. And I would say that's probably one of the most simple demonstrations that water is obviously and observably flat and level.
What would they
Hang
have
on.
to do?
Maybe
Hold on.
pilot-
If it was
do
a
you think that
ball,
maybe the pilot is making an effort to avoid the water. Do you think that that might be part of what he's doing when he's flying the plane?
He might want to
Certainly
do that.
not.
You're right, Jim. He might. Want
Why
to
would you
avoid
have
the
that
water.
altitude
He doesn't
indicator?
need to. He doesn't need
Do you think he's holding a specific altitude though?
Oh, but here's a good,
Regardless
here's a
of
good
what
one,
the
guys.
water's doing?
Hey, flat earthers, do you know how an altimeter works? Like, how do they actually hold
Who
altitude?
the
Do you
fuck
guys know
is this
that?
guy?
that's my Steve.
Have you guys heard of the F-111 Probably aardvark? know about the airplane stuff than you do.
Hang on.
Have you
You've
guys
got
heard of the F-111 aardvark?
Montreal. That
Yeah.
was our main bomber plane for fucking 20, 30, 40 fucking years.
Yep. Great. So you're familiar with it?
No shit.
Just up the road from me at RF Lake.
Where the hell is this going?
We had to redesign the bloody thing.
Hold on, I asked
Hey,
a question
guys.
earlier. I asked a question earlier, and no flat
Stop
earther
running errands for these guys.
Is there some unique
bunch of errand
feature
boys.
about this aircraft that we need to know about? Or is
No.
it just an aircraft?
No. The people that know about the aircraft, just tell us how low it flies and what's its main purpose.
What do you mean? It was a long-range reconnaissance plane to begin with.
Right? And then, did it become a bomber?
It became a
Just-
strategic
just
bomber. Yeah.
Make your point, Socrates, for fuck's sake.
Socrates.
No, fuck that. Go drink your hemlock, bitch.
Fucking sauerkrauts.
Curved, are you on?
Just
on
get to your
period
point,
again
you
today?
see. Just
just make your
Just
point.
get to your point, you see.
The point is, the plane flies very low and very, very fast.
No.
So
Yeah.
what?
It was specifically not
It's designed-
designed to fly at very low level. It wasn't built for that.
Can I
really?
just Can I
Yes,
just
I
point
really-
out to you, I'm glad we've got the planes flying down close to the ocean, because it gives us a chance to remind you that they are flying just above sea level. Sea level is the, well, we'll say is more or less the same all around the globe.
Now you're catching on. Take the globe
hold
off
on,
and
hold on,
flat
hold on,
surface there.
hold on, nearly there. Zero elevation. Sea level is zero elevation. So if you're flying your plane at, say, I don't know, 100 feet, at an elevation of 100 feet, and you continue to fly it at an elevation of 100 feet, you will be 100 feet above sea level, all around the globe.
Wow, that's magic. So this plane
Well,
flies
apparently it
strategically
does need
straight,
explaining
but
to
it's
you
actually
guys.
curving. This is amazing. Tell us more, Jem. So,
Hey, SC Montreal, I've explained this to you before, but if you take a compass, yeah, and you draw a circle, and then you draw another circle, an inch further out from the circumference of the first circle, you realize that it's level. The two circumferences are level with each other, and they are in fact a circle.
Only in your fantasy, La La Land.
Literally
When you
draw
envision
parallel
the
lines
sphere
up.
being flat, you have to really, really do the shroom thing.
No, he didn't say flat. He said level.
Yeah, I said level, and you can literally do this on a piece of paper right now to prove you
Because
wrong.
We're talking about horizontal. Horizontal. So that aircraft does not go below the horizontal.
That's
Right.
right. It flies
It
straight
flies-
and
it
level
flies-
all
it-
the way
Those
to
two
its bombing
circumferences
It
mission.
flies at a number of feet above sea level, the
Oh.
curving sea level that curves around the globe.
It flies
No.
at altitude, guys.
No,
Fixed
no,
altitude. that
because
pilot
Yes.
chooses.
no, because you're just claiming that water curves, but we see that
You're
it's
claiming it's flat.
no, we're claiming that it's horizontal. There's a horizontal
You're claiming
plane.
that you're claiming water doesn't curve and it's flat.
We don't claim
that
we
it's,
say
um,
with
You guys
absolute
are missing the
confidence.
point.
You haven't
This is not a
seen all of
claim,
the
this is
water.
an
If a
axiom.
plane, if the plane
Water
is flying
seeks
level,
its level. This is an
and
axiom.
water
How much
is
water does
level,
that?
Water
the
How much
pilot
water does
doesn't
that?
need to change
Did I just hear
altitude.
that right?
But
Talking
you
about a
guys are
glass
the
of
only
water,
ones
a
presuming.
fish tank,
You
a
guys
bathtub,
emphasize
a swimming
level.
pool. What are you talking about?
Water is not changing. SE,
You
water does not seek
emphasize
its own level
level,
because it does
and
not
then
have
you add a
tension.
curve. Just an imaginary curve is applied after you guys have already acknowledged it's level. The water is level, the plane is flying level, but in your imagination, that appears on a curve.
Listen, we
And
haven't.
in reality, it
We
doesn't
haven't.
appear on a
fantasy.
curve.
Well
When,
said,
when you
brother.
say we've acknowledged its level, you have acknowledged that level, and level is sea level. It's sea level goes around the globe.
No. There was
No level straight
You were
line
right.
curves.
You were right up until the part where you said, and that level curves around a globe.
Right.
It has to
level
for their
is
fantasy.
level.
It has to
This
curve
idea,
around the
this
globe.
idea,
level, and
this
it's
idea
sea
should not be
level.
new to you. It's
Sea
not my
level.
idea. Listen. This should not be new to you. It's not my idea. This is what
Can you
sea
see
level.
the
Listen.
level?
Yes. Why are
Jim,
you
can you
talking?
see
Why are
the
you
level?
talking?
You can't see the level.
This is what sea level is. This is what sea level has always been.
You can't see the level. We can
What does
see
that
the
mean?
Don't
level,
be silly,
but
Solar.
you can't
Don't
see
be
doesn't even
silly.
mean
the
You,
anything.
level, which
you're
is
being
sea
silly.
level.
You know what sea
No, no.
means.
It's sea level. Can you see level?
Don't be silly. Silly. You're being silly.
Yeah, that isn't even worth me
No,
responding.
he's being
to.
fucking retarded.
Those are fucking
So why don't they call it
semantics of.
sea curve instead of sea level?
Arguing a
Why don't they call
definition
it
that's
sea
clearly
curve?
established.
Oh, and talking about being fucking stupid, in comes SE with another stupid
Yeah,
question.
but
Hey,
if
Peanut
you
Man,
want to
why do
hang
they
on,
call it
hang
sea
on,
curve? Why
Montreal.
don't they
If you
call
want
it
to
sea
be
curve instead of
semantic
sea
about it,
level?
yeah, Montreal. If you want to be semantic, it's mean sea level.
Yes.
Okay. If you want to get down to the nitty gritty,
So they should have called it mean sea curve. No?
why the fuck would you say that?
However, they didn't, did they? Which,
No, they
which
didn't.
shows you that level does not mean what you guys claim it means.
Oh, yes, it does.
Oh, no,
They
it
use
doesn't.
water
You got that wrong,
levels
buddy.
for that.
You got that
Water
wrong, buddy.
levels.
Level
You've got
means
that
no
wrong,
part
buddy.
higher or lower than another part.
Yep.
Level
That's right.
is no part higher or lower.
Right.
And you guys,
Right.
in
And
other-
Higher,
I still
lower,
don't
relative to
understand
what?
you can think of
Higher or
level
lower,
as
yeah.
not a higher or
Higher
lower.
or lower.
What do you mean?
Listen to what you
Higher-
just said, and that now
Yeah,
envision
higher
that
or
on a
lower
sphere.
relative to what? Higher or lower than what?
Right.
Yeah, you don't know, do
Then
you?
any
So I'm on a
other
ball,
part,
right? I'm on a ball
higher
here on
or
the other
lower
side of
Relative
the
to
ball,
what?
right? But none of us were at equal. That's how you envision this, right? No one is higher, no one is lower, right?
Relative to what?
Relative to what?
He doesn't know.
Dude,
He doesn't get the question.
No, he doesn't.
it's either straight and level,
You
or
guys
it's
are the
curved.
only
Which
ones
one
that
is
Hey,
it?
you got it.
relative to a fictitious
You got a bookshelf
void.
with 6 shelves. All 6 shelves are level. Which shelves are level?
Which ones
And
are
what-
curved?
And some are above the others.
Which ones are curved?
Which of those bookshelves
he
could you
didn't-
extend
he
out into
didn't
the
get the
distance and make
question
curve
was-
around a ball?
No, there's a thing.
How many of them do you have?
Understand
How many
the
of those
question.
shells would you
Stop
have to put
yelling into
together
your
in
mic.
Hey, here comes Shouty Retard.
a horizontal line, a straight line, to curve around the ball?
Hey,
How many?
Raqia, you didn't even hear the question either.
That horizontal doesn't curve around the ball. That's the point, you fucking idiots.
So peanut
same
farmers,
thing.
you have round curved shelves in your house. I'd like to see that, bro.
Oh my god.
I never said anything about shelves at all. I don't have the faintest idea.
So
what
they
you're
never
talking
said relative to what? They don't know.
No.
That's correct. I don't know.
And where's Bev to come in and go, well, you've got to establish the horizontal, but you've got to have the vertical to make the thing with the level horizontal go
That's what you do.
That's what
create
you
a
have to
plumb
do,
and then create a horizontal from it. That's how you know it's not curved.
yeah.
Would you
Shout
do
out
the
Bev.
water
That's
level?
my thinking.
But where's that datum point coming from, buddy?
would you do that with a water level? Raqia?
All points are your datum point. You can get a plumb from any point.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, he's given
And when
up
you
by now,
connect
well.
those horizontals at different elevations, they're going to be parallel with each other. Guess
Okay,
what? You're on a
what if
flat
you
plane.
don't have... Yeah, so Raqia, if you don't have a level surface to set that datum upon, how do you establish it?
Talking about plumb and zenith, don't care what's underneath you. You're not using the land or the water to create it. Plumb is plumb.
Oh, so we're using gravity. That's interesting.
Well, no, I was talking about
Well,
a
you can
datum
call it gravity if
point.
you want.
Well, we do call it gravity. Thanks.
Yeah, some people call it different things, but whatever establishes the plumb, you pull the horizontal off of that.
Fuck, I'd hate to see him try and square up a piece of board.
You mean like I'm doing at this very moment?
Oh, that's
you,
coincidence.
Momo.
No. I'm talking about cutting a piece of board to make it square. I'd hate to
You
see
mean
you
like
measure
I've
that.
done almost all my life as a framing carpenter and now in construction?
Dude,
You mean like that?
Dude, why are you shouting into your mic?
Because you're talking to a painter and you're telling him how to paint, dude. That's why.
Earlier, y'all said I was low.
Oh, I thought he poured concrete.
I wouldn't get him to paint my house.
Yeah, because you assume things about me and let other people make your determination on that. It's
Yeah, I
fine.
wouldn't get you to do
I
my
assume
shit wrong.
things about you from what you say.
Plus, I wouldn't paint your house. I'm not a painter. He was just making a point.
Yeah, so was
know
I.
that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, but you're basing yours on something you don't know.
Yeah, I was
I
just
mean, I'm
making
actually
a
a good
point.
painter. Yeah.
No, I didn't learn engineering drawing either. Oh, that's right. I did it in second year of my apprenticeship.
Learning how hard it is to paint via rocket.
And now look at you.
Yeah, listening to idiots who don't understand fucking perspective.
No, don't. Now you're going to perspective.
Yes, I had to learn that to do fucking pipe drawing.
You mean on AutoCAD? You know I owned a
No,
PipeCAD company
by
for a long time,
hand.
right? Yeah, we did it
We
by
started
hand
that
too,
on
and then we had
drawing
AutoCAD.
We had to do it by hand.
Yeah, we did it by hand too, but then we got AutoCAD, and then we went bankrupt. But that's a different story.
Mark Taylor says if you don't stop shouting, he's going to call your church.
Mark Taylor needs to come to church. Mark Taylor is probably one of the ones who doxed me in the first place
Oh,
Why? You doxed yourself, apparently. from
because he's
what I've heard.
vile.
You'd know
Can't
if
help
it was
himself.
Mark Taylor. You'd know if it was him.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
because
who it is.
he'd be preaching it right now.
He'd tell you.
He did. I think he did.
He'd be proud.
Yeah, I don't care anymore. People like that show their true colors. We're literally creating horizontals right now and squaring up forms. As we speak.
Hang on, are you creating horizontals or plums?
We're using a plumb to create a horizontal. We're using a laser level, actually.
Hang on.
Oh,
That
he
just
thinks he hasn't got you.
No, that just changed. You said you were creating plums, but then you only need one.
And your point is? Oh, I said plums, and you got me on that?
Well, you
That's
just caught
that's
yourself.
where you're at in your life? That's
No, that's where you're at in your life. You're not watching what you're saying around here.
Did he say plums? Oh, that's it. Raqia, you're busted, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Retire,
is.
bro.
The earth is definitely round. I can't do
Montreal.
my job because I said
Montreal. He's eating the forbidden fruit of plums.
Because this smart guy who has apparently has all these degrees and can draw.
I never
on
said I had a
paper.
fucking degree.
he's getting you confused.
So
with the
Davros,
man
how do
who
you
really
establish a plum? How do you do it? How do you establish vertical, horizontal?
Oh, well, it depends. What am I doing? What's the job?
They do it differently.
You want to find out if water is flat.
We do it different when you're fabricating.
You're
just establishing your
Let's say you want
horizontal
to find
plane,
curve,
Davros.
like Raqia did, Davros. What would you do on the water? How would you go about it?
Tell us,
Well,
Davros.
a lot of the time we pick a random point and then square off of that.
Yeah, tell us what you would
Okay,
do.
and that, isn't that what Raqia did? He found the spot. He did it out and he extended it. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, but if I'm doing it on the ground, why do I need a plumb?
We're not talking on the ground. We're talking to
But I am.
establish a drop of water. How would you find it? How would you do it?
Yeah, but I'm talking on an engineering thing. We don't engineer water.
Well, look,
How would you
Raqia
establish
told you
plumb,
he did a
Davros?
test
Why are you making
on
it so
the
difficult?
water, right? Now, how would you go? And you were laughing at him. Now I'm asking you,
Hmm.
how would you go about it?
Right.
I believe
You
the
engineer
accepted method.
water with
This
a
guy,
I believe the
I would bet
accepted.
this guy
I
has never done
believe
it.
the
He's only done it
accept.
on paper.
I believe the accepted method would be to take reciprocal zenith angles.
Yeah, but you're a teacher, though, Paul. Davros is laughing, running his mouth. How would he establish the horizontal?
Yeah,
No,
I want to hear that.
I was talking about creating square.
Yeah, but how would you establish your
So
horizontal?
you're backing off now? You don't know how to do it?
No. I'm following my conversation. I don't know what you're following.
But we were talking about establishing horizontal. You disrupted to talk about something else.
Chemo, you don't even know what this conversation's about, mate.
Yeah, establishing the horizontal plane of reference. Can you do that?
But that's not
And
my
the engineering
conversation.
of water, the engineering of water is to introduce a fall. So anything off of level and water will start to move in the intended direction. So when engineering a building, you want to create where the runoff water is going to be, and that's setting it up toward an angle off of that level, off of that
What's talking
horizontal,
about drainage?
off of that single point. So water is
You might
something
slow
which
farmers, boy.
requires engineering, and
It's,
anytime that
kinda
there's
off point,
any
mate.
fall, then you would have water movement. So there cannot be a
Yeah, you're
fall
kind
or a
of off
slope
point,
on a
Zola.
globe.
Yeah, but why isn't Davros
Listen,
explaining this?
don't be
Davros
silly.
was the expert. He
Hang
has
on,
all
hang
kinds
on,
of,
hang on a minute, Solar. Don't be silly. There isn't a fall, is there? Nobody is saying that stuff falls towards the South Pole. And if that's your understanding of our model, then really that's worrying, very worrying. Now, let me give you another chance here. What is your understanding of our model?
You think that there's absolutely no difference between, say, an equatorial bulge and a slightly flattened pole area?
I mean, with respect
You-
to
you
how
think
water behaves.
There'd be no slope.
Right, so where is the slope in our model?
The moment that anything starts to fall away from you, you presume you're at the top of the ball and you conveniently rotate the fictitious ball in your mind as you continue to cross distances so that you remain at the top, so that it can
Okay,
always
but-
be
but
this
you're
flat
dis-
appearance
But
of a,
Solar,
of a
but Solar,
sloping
you're-
surface. But
You're,
if you had a single starting point A and you moved to any other point, you would be moving down a slope. There
No.
would be
Right.
an obvious fall.
Okay, but
on
what you're
this
saying
circular
is
object.
But listen. What you're saying is that in our model, don't forget, water should run down that slope
Water does move down any slope.
because you're saying to me that the engineering would be required to stop it if there was such a slope. There, and because there's no engineering, therefore there is no slope. That's
Water is level, so we know that this concept of a sloping water or a bulging water or a mass of water higher than another point is fallacious and illogical.
But the problem is the claim that water is level is fallacious, isn't it? Because
It's not. It's the natural property of
hang
that
on.
fluid.
When you say that, though, that's based on your guess. When you've looked at
Not a guess.
Listen. It's based on a guess when you've looked
Natural physics.
when you've looked at a small patch of water, isn't it? You haven't done anything more than look at water and guess. And at best, you've only ever seen in one go a small patch of water. Isn't that true?
And you understand that sampling is done on
Are we just going to ignore? My question is that true? Is that true? That
Small
your
bodies
claim,
at rest are flat.
yeah,
That's
I've
true.
heard the
Yes.
claim. I've heard the claim. We're now getting the basis of the claim. And I'm telling you that the basis of your claim that water is always level, the only basis you have is looking at a small patch of water and making a guess. Is that correct?
Not true.
Okay, what do you have? What do you have more than that?
In the same way that water, one of its natural properties is that it's moist.
that when I plunge any object into it, that the object comes out wet, is the same type of natural property that water always will find its level. And if there is any fall introduced,
but listen,
the water will move.
There is no fall. We say the fall is towards the center of the earth. I'm sorry I had to tell you that. You should know that. And it's completely moronic that apparently you don't know that. So that is where the fall is to. So
That's where it's assumed. That's where it's
nothing-
assumed to be. The center of the earth is just a fictitious region in a ball-shaped model.
Okay, but
because of how shallowly.
Wait a minute.
So
if you
for to
understand,
propose it as
listen,
though
stop
it's
talking.
Not to take it as a reference towards the center of the quote-unquote planet.
There's no need.
not making sense.
This is you're trying to censor me now. That's what you're doing, Solar.
Yeah, he's
you are,
trolling
you.
you.
are talking endlessly so that the crap that you're coming out with can't be
bullshit.
Yeah.
Can't be responded to. So if you understand that, you called it imaginary, but so you understand that apparently this is something we're imagining. So if that's true, why are you trying to refute this imagining by telling us about sloping water and how water behaves on a slope? Because in our imagining, we've accounted for that.
Are you really asking me to talk about your imagination?
Well, it's your claim that it's our imagination, but what I'm asking you to explain. What I'm asking you to explain is listen, because you're not listening. This is why you don't understand. What I'm asking you to explain is if you understand that this is what we are imagining, that there is a center of the earth and things fall towards it. Why are you trying to say to us this thing that you're imagining is incorrect because water runs down slopes? Because that we've accounted for that. The slope is towards the center of the earth, if there is to be one. So that argument doesn't help you. I don't understand why you present it. Because your argument would make sense if we believed in our model that things went to the South Pole, that everything ran towards the south. But we don't say that. So I don't understand why you present such an idiotic argument.
Don't understand what the other guys are.
Idiotic.
It seems to be like a confusion of ideas.
It's only you that's confusing ideas by
No, it's
bringing in
you.
all this nonsense of everything falling towards the center of your imagination.
But that's what you're saying.
So,
You're saying
No,
I know the earth. I know the earth
provably-
isn't a globe because that's not happening. You're saying that.
no, so my
Yes,
point
that's
that I
your
said to
argument. Water
was
runs
a
down
sample.
slopes, therefore there can't be a slope. That's your argument.
waters do run down the slope from altitude towards sea level, and they descend in altitude until they reach back to the ocean level. And then it gets evaporated and the hydrological cycle begins again.
This is just
the water
blather.
always falls
Irrelevant
down
blather. Why are you
any
doing
slope.
this?
No,
He's
I'm
a really
telling you
good driver,
the
Jim,
point.
and he's got to go to
I'm trying
Kmart.
to say
We're
to
He's
talking
got to
about
get
what
underwear.
level is, not
Is
what the fucking
samples.
water cycle, dude.
So if I take a sample of something and then I can extrapolate certain things from it. So if I take small bodies of water and they exhibit one property like levelness, then larger bodies exhibit similar properties, like when we do visual tests across water or laser tests. And when we do mirror tests at further distances, those are all samples for larger analysis of bigger bodies of water. So this is not a fallacious claim or a baseless assertion. There is a sample that is used to then deduce further understanding of that thing. The water is always wet. It is always level. If
However,
you build a pool,
all right,
Stu,
stop talking
the
now.
water
Let
will
me
flow out.
respond. Shut up. Right. So your claim that oh God, you said so much. You make it so difficult to respond to. Deliberately, I feel.
No, it's to get the point across with clarity so that you can
Yeah,
understand.
it isn't though. When you start talking about the fucking water cycle, that isn't clarity, is it? It's just I must make talking noises lest I be refuted.
You were claiming water won't fall down a
So
slope.
your claim is that you can look at a small amount of water and from that extrapolate that larger amounts of water must be behaving in the same way. We don't deny that. So for that to have any meaning at all must require that you think that stuff would run off the ball and is not being attracted to the center of it, as is the claim. So that doesn't help you at all. You're refuting a straw man model that exists only in your mind. The one that we say exists, then water would still appear to behave in that way wherever you look at a small piece of it. As for your measurements, your laser tests, they are bogus as well. And even flat earthers admit this, because Jeranism did actually attempted to do a laser test that wasn't bogus. Now, I'm not going to draw any conclusion from his results, only from his method. He understood that a laser beam spreads out over a distance. And he also understood, but eventually, that laser beams are not immune to the effects of atmospheric refraction. They bend just like any other light. That's why he attempted to shoot his laser through 3 holes in boards and then hit a target at the other end at some distance. And that, had he been successful, would have been a useful demonstration. However, what you're talking about is a laser test. Firstly, the Balaton one that there's never been any properly published results for. There's no evidence that this measurement actually took place. Just somebody said it did. There's no recording of it. And the other tests are just seeing lasers over lakes. And they're useless because we know that for the reasons I've pointed out with Jeranism's tests. They don't, the laser beam can spread out, and we don't know how much refraction's affecting it. So you don't have anything to go on apart from your guesses about water. I rest my case.
Well said, that man.
Well, I would say that once again, you've also rattled off many things that require, considerable.
Well, two things.
And I can't get one sentence before you start over talking. But
well, because I didn't rattle off many things. I said 2 things. I made 2 points.
All right. So I would agree with you. I would say your assessment of the laser experiments are fair. As you well put, Jaren discovered the attenuation issues, that there was assumptions made that there could be blockages between there were various things that were discovered through that I think we all learned from. So I agree that type of formulation perhaps wasn't successful. The ones I was referring to is when they shoot a laser and you can visibly see the laser at the other location. I'm not saying
and that doesn't help you, does it?
It's about but like
you were saying it proved something.
The fact you can see the light is showing you can see the light. And if the person is shining the light horizontally and they can then see it at a certain distance, there isn't the drop that is supposedly meant to be there if we were on a curved surface. So that is what that essentially proved. But like you said, there are atmospheric conditions which make any mathematical
proof, does it, in any way? And as you say, the laser beam spreads out, so it doesn't.
Supports it.
It
and
doesn't.
From a sampling,
It's completely inconclusive.
From a sampling perspective, if you guys have any proof that water has convexity to it at any time when it's stationary, then please show us, because
it almost
natural
does.
Fucking drop of water.
It almost,
when it's stationary.
Stationary drop of water.
There's always a point acting on water here on Earth, so saying it's quote unquote stationary is a bit of a misnomer. don't you think?
And then you brought up attraction towards the center of the Earth again,
All right.
which is unproven. and has never been demonstrated that an object with said mass attracts something else to the center of that object with said mass.
It doesn't really
We
matter.
now
It doesn't really matter if it's
consider it as
unproven.
as
Hang
a
on.
Go ahead.
disturbance
We
in
know that
space.
there's a force acting on it. We don't have to
We
prove what the
consider
force
it
is.
a
We know it's there
distortion in
because we
space-time.
see it in
Solar,
reality.
do you know how to have a conversation, dude?
I
Seriously.
was
To be honest,
mid-sentence. Who's this guy
we've
talking?
just started
I was
talking
to
over him.
Jim.
He was
Yeah.
talking.
Correct.
Let him finish. Let him finish, please. Go ahead.
So I was saying the standard understanding of gravity is the bending of space-time due to the unequal distribution of mass. And that hasn't got anything to do with pulling water towards the center of a sphere. So I was going to say to you, how do you scientifically support that this water is being pulled to the center of the sphere?
Easy. F equals ma. We use it every day.
But wait, Nid, why did he bring... Do you even know
I don't think
space
I
time?
need it. I don't think at this point. I mean, we can move on to that if you want to, but at this point, I don't need to, because you were trying to offer me evidence that water was always level or flat in it would probably be a better word to use, and so, but what you offered was something
demonstrable.
What you offered was something which was a sort of a weird straw man idea where gravity pulled everything towards the bottom of the globe, towards the South Pole.
No one said gravity pulls it anyway.
But that was what your argument refuted. It refuted that is happening, and we don't claim that is happening, and that's why that argument was bogus. And that's why I mentioned gravity, was to point out that's just what you're offering in terms of, well, water isn't running away, therefore it can't be a curve, is just a misunderstanding of clearly a deliberate misunderstanding. Because when I challenged you on it, you understood completely what, as you called it, what as you put it, we were imagining.
So do you think that the equatorial bulge that we're told is existent, because of the rotation of the Earth, that there is slightly more water collecting at that equatorial region? You think that that's still level, even though it's a bulge of additional water based on the centrifugal forces generated by the Earth rotation, but it's all level and simultaneously bulging, but yet when we demonstrate that water in small volumes is level, there's no way that large volumes could be level. And using something
how
very
have you demonstrated that there's no way large volumes could be leveled? How have you demonstrated that? Because you said you've demonstrated
level
on a small scale, but then you suddenly threw in the large scale one. So how have you demonstrated the large? I understand your assertion, but what about the demonstration that you've just asserted you have?
So maybe you missed the insertion of my point there. So a small body of water is level, and then a large body, we call it sea level because it's level. And you guys are the only ones who believe at some point level becomes spherical.
No, actually. No, wait a minute. Okay, let me respond to that point. Stop talking. Okay?
From sample size.
You're going to keep talking, aren't you?
To finish my point, go ahead.
He's retarded, Jim. He really is.
Us guys are not the only people who I can't remember what you said, something about wrapping things around a sphere or something like that. We're not the only people like that. Everybody says that. You are the only people who misunderstand it. A handful of people on the internet.
Everybody does not say that. Everybody is a bad statement there.
Show me any reputable source that says that sea level means flat and not curving around a globe. Show me that anywhere.
So reputable sources are everybody to you?
So
you're talking about people who support your claim.
His claim is that it's only us that are saying this. So show me someone that's agreeing with you.
Level,
as they cut you off.
Has flat.
Yeah, show me.
Yeah, as Jim cut me off. Yeah, thanks, Curve. Get on him, Curve. Do your
mute that liar.
Hang on. So, Solar, you were asked about sea level, not level, sea level.
Right.
Did you miss that?
And you think there's a difference?
So you did
listen.
miss it.
No, I think that you are making level mean
So if
flat.
I say
listen,
psychology
listen,
and
I'm
clinical
talking.
psychology, it's different because I put clinical before psychology.
No, I think that you are using, sometimes level means flat. Sometimes when we use it casually, it means flat. But sometimes it doesn't mean flat, and you are making it mean flat. It doesn't mean flat. You can keep pretending that it always means flat, but you are just pretending. I can demonstrate this to you very easily. If I take a plank of wood, I want to make a shelf, it's nice and flat, smooth, flat. There are no lumps in it, no bumps in it, there are no holes in it. It's flat. Now I put up my shelf. As Raqia pointed out earlier, I'm crap at putting up shelves. My shelf is on a slope now. My shelf is now not level. It is still flat, though.
It's not curving, though.
Doesn't
It's
matter.
never curving.
It doesn't matter.
It's
It
not
doesn't
curving.
matter. I'm pointing out the difference, that there is a difference between the words flat and level. They do not mean the same thing, and pretending that they do is very silly.
I'm falling back.
Pretend that a level shelf is going to start curving at some point over distance is the silly part.
Actually, that's where you've got a slight problem there, Mr. Raqia.
No, I don't think so.
Because if you're going to keep the same level across a distance greater than a mile, you will have to curve that fucking shelf.
Only in your fantasy world, sir.
No, that's using plumb bobs and a spirit level.
And Jim's logic,
no way.
And Jim's logic is that when someone says go sit the table down on that nice flat surface, they actually mean that tilted surface, the sloping down side of my garden.
Is
but
that
it's
what you
also
got?
Kind of
Is that what
flat.
you got?
Which
You
starts
think-
curving over distance.
You think, from what I said, that flat means sloping. That's what you got from what I just said. You are
You
a
said it
fucking,
can slope.
You're a fucking moron.
You said it could slope, Jim.
Of course it could. It would still.
And
the
then I
surface
asked,
of-
when does it start curving? And you
The
didn't answer.
surface of the table would still be flat, wouldn't
Okay,
it?
so when does that flat table that might be on a slope start to curve?
Talking about.
We're talking about flat, level, horizontal surfaces.
Right, well, tables
that
don't
can
curve.
slope. We all agree on that. At what point do those horizontals start to curve? What distance?
Tables don't curve, Raqia.
Turn the screaming fuck down.
Horizontal, straight, level lines don't curve either.
Yeah, Raqia.
Unfortunately, you haven't established that to be true, Raqia, have you?
Why would I have to establish something that is absolutely true?
Well, because you haven't established
But
it.
take your time and stutter a little more on that one.
Well, I'll take a bit longer because you interrupted me, didn't you? So that it would take longer. But
Yes, now you're talking about interruptions instead of talking about when does a...
What was
Thank
the
you.
question again? I'm just sick of the shouting. Can anyone remember what he asked me?
Oh, well, it's irrelevant.
Yeah, tables
They're not-
don't curve. That's moronic.
They're not long enough, mate. Do you know how long you'd have to have that table
How
for
long?
it to
That's
even
what I
look
asked.
like it's?
I asked that 5 times.
Oh,
Over what distance?
Shelf and you turned it into the fucking.
No, talk about. I'm not talking about. Jim brought up shelves and tables or whatever. I'm talking about a horizontal line. At what distance does a straight, level, horizontal line start to curve?
It doesn't.
At your next date and point.
It doesn't do that. That is not a natural property of straight horizontal lines. I don't know where you got that idea from.
It's also contradictory. It's
A level
contradictory.
line doesn't curve.
Yeah.
You don't have a straight, flat, horizontal level.
Right.
Sure you do. It's called water.
That's your
Not equilibrium.
assertion.
Yeah,
Hang on,
static water.
apparently we
That's your
build tables
unestablished
on water.
assertion, isn't it? You keep
Yeah.
telling
There's a
us that.
fucking wall in
You haven't established it to be true in any way.
I don't tell you anything. That's what water tells you.
Well,
There's
that's
a
what
wall.
you tell us that water tells us. But as we keep pointing out, and as I've gone through with solar, we account for that what we see with water, how we see water behaving. It's accounted for in our model. So
It's
just
calculated. It's
so just-
calculated for in your model. Yeah.
So just asserting that it's so, and that water is level, and that this establishes something in any way is ridiculous. You know it is. All you're doing is preaching. You might as well just sit there going, the Earth's flat, the Earth's flat, it's flat, it's flat. Flat things are flat, so it's flat. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. You aren't making an argument against our model.
You mean like when you say it's round, it's curved, level is curving in our model. In our model, we calculate it. You mean like that?
Well,
no, I'm stating
Not just
fact.
calculated, but
Water
also measured.
seeks and finds its level.
No,
Always.
you're not stating facts. You're stating what your feelings are about the world that you haven't established to be true in any way. And what I have done is assert facts because that is our model. You guys are pretending water should run off the globe, and that we don't that gravity doesn't attract things towards the center of the earth. You guys are making arguments based on those ideas. I'm having to point out to you idiots what our actual point of view is. I don't know why I'm doing it, because clearly you both know what it is. But I do need to point out to you the weakness of your arguments, I feel.
Your argument is weak. You have never, ever shown or measured curved water. You only believe it to be true in your model.
Shown it thousands of times. Plenty.
No, you haven't. Measured curved water?
Yes,
Measured?
plenty of...
Where?
Yes, plenty.
Where?
I'm telling you. Plenty of pictures from space show water.
That's not measurement, Jim.
Of course it is.
That's not a measurement, Jim.
Why can I not measure it? I can measure that.
Oh my goodness! Is that what? That's your answer?
Yes, that's my answer. I can measure it.
When I asked you, show me measured curved water.
Yes.
Drop from horizontal.
Yes.
You say photos.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm done with this guy.
Done.
Oh, hold on. Hold on, Mister. I'm done.
Oh no, I won't hold on to someone who's so ignorant. I'm done.
I'm done with this guy because I haven't shown him actual water in a Discord server. Pictures of it aren't good enough. No, apparently I needed to actually show him actual water, not curving. Is that what you meant, Raqia? Mister, I'm done with you.
No, I said I'm done with you because you said to show me measured water, you're going to show me a photo from space or whatever.
And how is that insufficient?
It's not a measurement.
How is it not a measurement?
How is it a measurement?
Well, because...
But why do you want me to explain your idiocy?
Well, because...
Idiocy.
Because...
Is that a word?
I'll tell you how it's a measurement. Because in the images, the Earth appears a certain size, and if we know what camera it was taken from, what lens was on that camera, and what distance it was taken from, we can figure out the size of the Earth. That's why it's a measurement.
Also, the distance of the continents that are on that picture can give you a key to measuring the size of that sphere. It's pretty simple.
I'm okay with you ending it there. So photos, right, is your measurement? All right, good. Thank you, Jim. You've been a great contestant.
No, we're talking about how to make the measurement.
Well, I've got thousands of photos. You've got your baseless assertion, which is clearly biased by your feelings. So, great. Thanks for playing, Raqia. Great. Your feelings were so compelling in this argument.
Just say it one more time for me, buddy. Just one more time.
Oh,
how you measured drop
Search your feelings, Jem. You know
by
it to be
using
true.
a photo. Please just say it one more time for
Say it. I did say it, and you didn't have anything to offer in response, did you? You gave up.
No, I didn't give up. I said I'm done with you. I actually laughed.
I told you what you could.
I did respond. You didn't listen.
Yeah, you just said I'm done with you. So tell me what I've said about the lens, knowing the lens size, the distance from the Earth, and using those methods to measure the Earth. Tell me how that's invalid. Go ahead.
Tell me how you asked me to respond and then put me on mute. You SOB. You are censoring me, and you don't want to hear.
I just unmuted you. I have to censor you, Raqia, because you shout through everything I say. I have to. I unmute you as soon as I've finished. You know I do. So stop whining and tell me how my method of measuring the Earth is invalid.
Didn't measure anything, Jim. How can I tell you it's invalid if you didn't measure anything? You took a photo. You didn't even take it.
How is it not a measurement?
Doesn't matter. How is the method I've described invalid for measuring the Earth?
Up without muting me. I'm gonna answer it very simply. It's not a measurement. It's a photo.
That is not an answer.
That's not an answer to how I didn't measure something.
No, he gave you a methodology.
Y'all are
He gave you a
thick.
methodology.
Y'all are thick.
Raqia, he gave you a methodology. He's asking you to say the problem with the methodology. Can you give a problem with the methodology?
Great response.
Crickets never sounded so loud.
Anyway.
Yep. It was that loud, it drowned out the fucking sound of my fans in the background.
It is nice, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
When he shuts up. And I'm sure for you guys, it's nice when I shut up too.
Oh, Jem, you're not that bad.
And you know, I'm jealous of you because I don't get the pleasure of that.
You just get carried away in the moment. We expect that.
Well,
you know
I mean,
what
look, guys, we expect truth to be shut down. I mean, again, the arguments are difficult to understand. You guys are struggling. And
Were you listening to that conversation at all? Do you think Raqia was bringing proof?
no,
and I don't believe you are not proof.
Together
Well, they just
No,
kept
it's the
asserting
truth,
that water's
Brian.
level, and we can just derive the shape of the Earth by looking at a small patch of water and saying and extrapolating from that is all like this.
I never said that. If you're applying that to me, you're lying. I said you have to measure it.
Solar is saying that. Well, you haven't measured it, have you?
Yes, I have, and
Not
you haven't.
sufficiently.
Have you measured it?
No, I haven't measured it.
There you go.
I don't need to measure it.
There you go. I don't need the measurement. I just
Yes,
believe.
you do.
I just
Yes,
have
you
faith.
do.
No, you're saying that.
Listen,
you didn't
I'm
do it.
saying you need to measure it.
Let
to
me
know the
explain
shape.
it. Let me explain it to you, Raqia.
Yeah,
okay?
let's hear it again.
But I'm going to tell you something else because you're confused, and flat earthers are often confused by this. Okay,
There you go. Nice tactic to just say, demean people.
Well,
You're
I hear it all the time. I hear it daily. This
right. You hear yourself doing it. Yeah.
Right, shut the fuck up. Okay. You are the people who disbelieve all authority and reject all expertise with the arrogant belief that you can derive greater truth about the world on your own without the help of your fellow humans who cannot be trusted. I don't subscribe to this idiotic worldview. I do accept and admire and utilize the expertise of other human beings who have measured the earth many, many thousands of times. I have no reason to disbelieve them and many, many reasons to believe them. So I can accept their extensive and expert evidence that they have produced, a massive, vast body of evidence. I don't need to go and do it myself. You do, because you distrust every other human apart from yourself. Go ahead.
You lied about me again. You just lied about me again. You're making a habit of this, Jim.
I mean, with that kind of argument, Jem. I mean,
if I can respond.
Yeah, I just want to say quickly.
Distrust
Oh, God.
every human being and every technology and every expert. Why do you lie like that?
Well, if I can just quickly say,
Well,
Jem, with that
if
kind of
that's the
argument.
case, if that's the case, why are you demanding that I go and measure stuff personally?
I didn't
Why
demand
is
that.
that required?
I did not demand that.
You
I said
absolutely did.
No, I didn't. I said to measure a shape, you need to
The last thing you said before I muted you was that I need to go and measure it. That's what you said.
Yeah, to know. If you don't want to know, if you just want to believe.
Know. I know.
No,
because
no, you don't.
I accept the expertise of others. You've just rejected it right there. The people you've just claimed you do trust, you've just distrusted them right there.
No, I don't. I'm looking at a piece of equipment that was designed by engineers who taught me how to use it. They're very smart. I trust them. They created this tool to create a horizontal plane. It's very accurate, Jim. I'm talking about if you ever would use one, you would be amazed on how accurate it was. And you can accurately, I'm almost done. You can accurately create this horizontal plane over static water and then accurately measure the drop or no drop from that horizontal plane. And if you do that yourself, you will know for sure that it's not curving.
Over
How
what?
do you have static water?
You know that is idiotic, and it would not establish in any way that it wasn't curving. You haven't done it over a large enough distance.
That's not what Jesse says.
And
a professional surveyor who you should trust.
Are you really going to misquote Jesse again and use his expertise incorrectly?
No, he says over 400 meters.
And you've already rejected his expertise. You
No,
don't get to use
his expertise. He gave us the numbers that 400 meters would be dropping, and it should be easily measured.
And he also tells you that he's measured the Earth to be curved many times, but you reject.
No, he doesn't say that. He never mentions curve.
He
Never.
absolutely says that.
No, he doesn't. He lets other people say it for him.
What are you talking about?
He's got videos on his channel where he's doing it, so where he's measuring it. So
he has taken the heat off of himself, trying to go at Jesse.
That's why Jesse left.
Raqia won't defend his own measurement.
It measured out to 15 degrees an hour, which is about correct. So he proved the Earth was a sphere. So
holy fuck cow.
He measured the angle to the sun and how it's moving 15 degrees per hour. Is that what you're saying? Yeah,
Jesus Christ. No, don't go with this. How long is Raqia's plane?
Yeah, how
he
long?
doesn't know.
Mine was 2 3/4 mile. You don't have to go that far though. Jesse says you can go about 400 meters.
How long did he say? I had to turn him down because the screaming cunt was killing me. So now I can't hear him that he's talking normal.
Then why'd you ask me a question? 2 3/4 miles.
I'm asking Jem.
What? Sorry, what's the question?
I'm trying to find out how long Raqia's plane is.
Oh, 2 3/4 miles, he says.
Oh, but how did he get a plane that long in multiple segments?
Did you hear that, Raqia? Maybe turn him up, Kurt.
He asked you.
Curve, this is nonsense. You can't just turn down Raqia because you don't like the sound. How are we going to have a conversation? You're going to ask Jem all night. What did he say? What did he say? What did he say? What did he say? What did he say?
I can't. I'm not talking over him.
I'm saying, are you going to ask Jem all night? What did Raqia say? What did Raqia say? You think Jem's going to relay back what was said all night? Don't be silly.
Okay, are you done asking the question? Can I answer now? Okay, Chemo. I'm trying to not interact directly with Raqia and Pukunage and Jeremy and all the other people that you named and accused, me of running off the server. I told them they could come back and I wouldn't interact with them. So I'm trying to hold up my end of that bargain. Do you understand that? Now, when you quit going around making these reckless, wild, slanderous allegations against me, maybe this can be remedied. But right now, that's where I'm at, and I'm trying to stick by that. So I need mediators in between me and that Cajun idiot.
Well, I don't know who you're going to ask. What did he say? What did he say? Every minute, every time he speaks. So who's going to do that?
I'm trying to point the conversation in a specific direction.
But I'm asking you, who's going to do that for you all evening while Raqia is
here? Well,
Jem
could. Jem was on this earlier.
No, Jem already said. No.
Your question doesn't need to be an hour long, Chemo.
Well, Jem already gave up that ghost. He said, no, let Raqia.
Yeah, let's move it on.
Let's move it on. Maybe it won't be an
Let
issue.
it go.
Well, Jem, you get the point. He can't do this in a single sighting, so he's got to do it in multiple segments. But he's claiming that all of these segments are collinear, but he's done nothing to show that they are all collinear or coplanar, whichever way he wants to play it. That's all.
Okay. Do you want to respond to that, Raqia? Or maybe you don't?
No, it's his kryptonite. This is what he won't describe.
No, he's not gonna. If you're talking to Jem, how are you gonna relay a message back to Raqia? He's listening. If you're talking to Raqia, speak to him directly.
Chemo, you are the biggest cunt that has ever existed and love to intermediate for people. Shut the fuck up if you're not gonna be helpful.
I'll make another point then. I think that Raqia sort of tried to back up his claim there by referring to Jesse Kozlowski. And he's already rejected not only Jesse Kozlowski, but the expertise that I was talking about of all the other geodetic surveyors that make the claim that they're measuring curvature. So, I'm going to go with them, not Raqia's claim. And if he's managed to convince himself somehow through making a measurement, and it sounds like what he's describing doesn't establish what he needs to establish, that the Earth isn't curved at the rate that we say it is, then he hasn't got anything. He's just kidding himself. And I think he should be intellectually honest about the position. This idea that we should all just pretend we're cavemen and go with our first, it looks flat. Well, no, the idea that it's a sphere is already on the table, whether you guys like it or not. And that's the idea that you need to refute. And it doesn't sound like what Raqia's done does that. It's just something that convinces him it's flat.
Rest in peace, heliocentrism.
I found it curious that Raqia said, Jesse Kozlowski has said that, he's never measured Earth curvature, when I've just pulled up a website where he actually says we've measured Earth curvature. What a liar.
Oh, of course. What do you expect? Nothing more.
Wait, Raqia lying?
But hang on. What I want to know is
I'm as surprised as you are, Moyle.
Yeah, what I want to know is how he made something that, like, he said 2 3/4 miles, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's 5 kilometers nearly. Okay?
And
How
if you
does he
listen to
know
Raqia,
it?
he probably, if you did listen to Raqia, he probably said he did it 100 meters at a time because that's the only distances that he can rely on his equipment.
Yep.
Oh, so if it's at 100, that's... Fuck me. That's 50 segments.
Yep.
You're right, Kurt.
Shit. I could be remembering wrong, but as I recall, he also has said many different distances, like 3 miles, 2 3/4 miles. It's like this test, I'm not sure if it ever really happened.
Hold on.
surely did.
Hold on. Today is Monday. That means tomorrow is Tuesday.
Tuesday. No, it's Tuesday. What are you talking
That
about?
means in Australia it's Tuesday.
Yes, you're actually right on that, Chemo, for once.
It's almost 2
That
a.m.,
means
buddy.
the next day is Wednesday. Oh my gosh.
What does that have to do with anything, Chemo?
Yeah,
I'm just saying today.
you
Hold
mean?
on.
Oh, it's his
Hold on.
protest.
Today is Monday.
No, Chemo, if you're just pointing out the obvious, thank you for affirming that Raqia is a lying sack of shit. Thank you, Chemo. That was very nice of you.
I'm just saying, hold on. Today is Monday. That means in Australia it's Tuesday. And that means the next day is Wednesday.
Chemo, you realize you're affirming our points by pointing out the obvious, right?
Have you gone mad? Why are you doing?
And did you know that a week next Tuesday? What?
I don't
Oh,
realize.
so
I
that-
don't know if Chemo realizes what he just did. That was really funny, actually.
So is that Tuesday week, farmers?
Bizarre. What are you doing, Chemo? What's going on?
Yeah, for me, a week Tuesday.
Hold on.
Oh.
So, hold on. That means
No, but that'd
Jem's
be
asking
Tuesday
me.
week, mate.
Jem's asking me,
Yeah,
what am I
let's go
doing?
again.
That means I've got to respond to it.
No, you
Then
don't
give me
have
an
to,
answer.
mate.
No, you don't. don't have to feel any.
Does anyone know
obligation to
what
respond.
point he's trying to make here?
I ain't got a fucking
In this-
clue.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on,
yeah,
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. So
hold on,
Jem's
hold on,
saying,
hold on, hold
I'm
on,
making
hold
a
on, hold on,
point.
hold on.
I'm making a point. That must mean there's a reason.
Like it.
Hold on.
I'm still not getting it, Chemo. And it's
Hold on, hold on.
it
He's
was
not
annoying-
getting
It was
it.
annoying. It was annoying at
Let us
first.
discuss any points of Raqia's flaws, so
Hey,
he
Jem,
has
you
to
can do them.
distract.
It's even
This is-
more annoying.
This is the worst impersonation of me I've ever heard from Chemo.
Oh,
Is that what he's doing?
that what it is?
Really?
I don't know. It's more cryptic than I've ever fucking been.
Yeah, it is. CB says it is.
Mm.
He's more tuned in than I am.
Mike check.
Oh, hello, Mike.
Oh, good.
Hang on. This
Checking the
name's
mic.
not Mike. Now I am confused. Did somebody skip a chapter? Well, I didn't notice.
Who is this Mike Check? And why does he have so many friends?
Oh,
That's what
he's
I
got
want.
blue balls, apparently, according to SE.
Every day there's people in here asking for him.
Maybe it's one of those the check is in the post fallacies.
There's Bill.
Oh dear.
So Davos, try that with the radius. If the Earth is 3959, then what does it mean?
Is that
It
your?
really does.
your
Hang on. Whoa. If the Earth is this large, then the horizon must be over there.
Hang on.
Australian
We
accent?
measured the Earth's radius using reverse zenith angles.
I mean,
the
truth,
you
mate,
remember
is
the
that the
plumb
best
lines
you
aren't
can do?
parallel? Those actually indicate the radius of the Earth, Chemo.
Hang on.
You need Chemo. You need your. They call it AQI, Australian Question Intonation. I think it is something like that.
Every
And
sentence has to
It's
end
an
with a question.
interpolation. Thank you
It's
very
that
much.
rising inflection you get at the end of a sentence, where every sentence becomes a question. Like,
Really, Jem? Are you sure about that?
I went to the shops
Time
today.
is 3:15.
Fuck's sake.
No, not it's
Hey,
not
I bought
is
a
it
packet of-
15.
I
If
bought a
it's
packet of biscuits. You know, it's that thing. You know.
but it's got to be if that's a packet of biscuits, then it means they're
No.
delicious.
No,
Everything you say.
Any permission to try and use an Aussie accent? You sound like shit when you do it. Fuck off.
Yeah, see, now he's asking you a question there.
See, now he's
The que-
brought out the fucking West in me, for fuck's sake. Jesus fucking Christ. There is no T in minnow, mate. Fuck off.
The fact is that you
You're
not
Australian,
understanding the
okay.
inflection means that you didn't know whether it was a question or a statement, you dumb fuck cunt.
Dumb fuck cunt.
I'm fuck shit cunt.
Yeah, but that usefully isn't.
Well, look, Chemo's unleashed the Aussie stupid vernaculars here, right? Anyway.
Well, we have the
We're not getting a Westie mode, mate, you fucking cunt.
Hey,
We have the facts, figures, and numbers, and everyone is going to be eliminated in 2 years.
Mormon, you'll be gone first, mate. So
No,
you
I
and
know
that
that.
damn duck face.
Fucking duckface gang. Cunt gang will never go. I mean, Kimo, when are they gonna ship the Americans to Far East in those coffins?
No, the Americans are going to be eliminated on home soil.
Yeah, into the coffins, and then sent to Southeast Asia.
They're going to be for the resistance, though, the protesters.
What? Where they can be recycled?
When did this come about?
Kimo found a website that makes predictions of population changes over time, and he says that everything that's a negative is going to be eliminated. Then I asked, what about the positive numbers? Are they going to ship people to those places? And he didn't know.
No, they're going to
Oh, the
increase
population
birth.
shuffle.
They're going to increase. They're going to encourage people to have more children. They'll make it beneficial. We'll pay you if you have
Okay,
more
and
children.
then those places where they don't make more kids, they're going to encourage people to not make kids, like we've seen. So that's the
Oh
decline.
yeah, like you can stop people having nookie.
Well,
Yeah,
we've
the
done
Chinese
in
did
Finland.
it.
Yep.
The
There's other
Chinese
ways
did it.
That's a
There's
concept.
other ways of restricting births, like you could suck the baby out into a bathtub. You can use chemicals. You can use barriers. There's lots of ways of stopping babies, Mr. Chemo.
Yeah.
I like the blending way myself.
Well, no, I was thinking about the
Coat
staircase.
hangers. Just make coat hangers free.
Hey, can you still get wire coat hangers?
No.
I thought they all were
Aborting them
plastic.
in the womb means you don't get them out for the adrenochrome. What do we need to make up a name for the blended adrenochrome drink, Moyok?
They put babies in lip balm and everything. So I mean,
Well, according to Lemon, they put it in Pepsi and Coke and stuff like that too. Aborted fetuses.
so
Is it
now
in
I have an idea.
Is
Now
it
I
in
have
Coke?
to buy some stocks on Coke.
Did you miss
Children
that
are
one?
coming out today. The children. You have to say
You're gonna make a
when
lot
you're
of more
talking
Coke.
about this subject. You have to say the children a lot. Okay. You have to put it in as many sentences as you can.
Oh,
But
think
yeah.
of the children.
Think about
Some of them are coming out today. They're being released from the tunnels
What's it?
under the White House and other places in Washington.
Oh, somebody
Oh,
please think of the
they must have
children.
blend them up as soon as
Well,
possible.
There have also been some Chinese troops hiding in these tunnels, and that's why there's been a lot of gunfire heard in Washington recently, apparently.
Right.
Because
Oh,
it's
they were
like
pretending.
just
the
big
US
babies.
Army have been cleaning up the remainder of. You think I'm not making this shit up? This is what I just saw on a podcast last night.
Well, you're just repeating some shit that somebody else made up.
Oh, that's fact. That's not. That's just.
No, this is Q drops. This is intel.
Oh, Jim, that's right. That's right.
They call
all
it
Chinese
intel.
people under 5 foot were pretending to be 10-year-old children hiding under the White House.
The bastards.
The
Now
Obama
you're making
leftovers.
stuff up. My stuff wasn't made up. My stuff came from
Are you guys?
intel.
Are you guys all
What,
ready
a-
to
a
get the vaccine?
A reputable source.
From intel, no, from intel sources.
I
You guys
make
all
shit,
ready to get the
make shit
vaccine?
up. I make shit up, but a Q drop's more worthy.
Look, it was on BitChute, and the guy said,
No, fuck.
listen, the guy said it was intel, and he couldn't say who it was from. So,
Because he
Did he
made
say
it
he was
up.
serious?
so
Did he say
they
that he was
sound-
serious?
Say they sound like really spy-ish, sort of secretive people. So that sounds right? That fits.
Oh well, yeah. I
Actually,
mean, no.
now
I
you
take it back,
You would
I'm convinced.
expect them to be like spy sort of people.
Jim, did they say that they were serious?
No, they're deadly fucking serious.
Oh, then
But
it's
Jim,
true.
But
Then
Jim,
it must be true.
that BitChute comment, you know Del Bigtree's on BitChute, right?
Look, it's all real. If somebody says it on the internet, it's true.
You know, the Intel chips
Why
use the
would they
ground up
lie?
bones of the babies that we use from the adrenochrome. Like, we don't let the babies go to waste. We use every part of them.
Well,
And
you-
why
you've got
would
to be
they
honest,
lie
you've
on
got
the
to
You're
recycle.
done, mate. You're done. Your business is over. The next few days, Trump's coming
How do you
back
think
on-
we get those Intel chips running so fast?
Trump's coming back on the 4th. We've only got 3 days left. This is the final bit. All the arrests are happening now. You know, the
I thought he
arrests.
never left.
Well, you know,
He just
He's
went to
been-
Florida for a holiday.
yeah, he's having a little break.
He had
These
2 months
people are saying
restitution.
this shit. I can't believe they say this shit. But they say it.
Yeah, he took a vacation there to his retirement village. You don't have a vacation when you retire. But he
Permanent
did say it. He did say it yesterday morning on his the speech in Florida. 30 minutes talking about the fraud, and then yes, me 2024.
Oh my god, it was so bad, that speech. I cannot. I
Bush is going to run in 2024.
Who is?
Trump.
Oh, the other Bush.